Welcome back to Sesh and Sheesh 6. I have a special guest here. We've spoken before on an old podcast. We've spoken before on a podcast that no longer exists. And now we're here on this podcast. Arian Foster, how are you, sir?
My guy was good. How you living?
Horribly. How you living, man? What's new with you? What's going on with you, man?
I can't complain, man. Life is good on this end. Um, I can't complain, dog.
How you occupying this time, man? Like it's nothing. We texted the other day, you was like, it's Groundhog Day, man. Like it don't matter like what day, what time, the shit's all the same. So how you occupying your time?
Yeah, it is like um, I'm extremely fortunate. You know what I mean? To be financially free during these times.
Hmm.
So it's like I don't know. I don't have. There's not a lot. It's like you can't travel. You can't. You know. I know a lot of people struggling and shit. But it's like so for me. I'm doing my part. I believe that the virus is real. So I actually know a whole bunch of cats that got it right.
Yeah.
One of my dogs went into kidney failure because of that shit. I know two people that have died from it. So it's like I'm in my lane and out the way. But I'm doing my part to socially distance and if I go anywhere, I always got a mask on. But I just wake up and I play games, I read, I make music. I just do the shit that I enjoy doing from the crib.
What you reading? What you watching these days?
Right now, shit. Right now, I'm in between two books. It's up there on my nightstand, bro. I don't even know what the fuck it's called.
It must
Uh,
stink.
Nah, it's been a minute. I ain't cracked it open in about 2 or 3 weeks.
Uh,
So it's but watching. What am I watching right now? Everything. The fucking the Karate Kid shit. I
I
seen. I seen.
I hadn't seen. I saw you posted some of the clips where just like some of the dialogue was. It was so
Bro,
like I like bad TV.
that's
So
what it is.
like yeah, so I'm tempted to watch it now. He's like, what?
Yeah.
My dad's gonna make me eat shit and
You're gonna
die
shit
or
my
like something.
mouth. You can say, gonna shit
Yeah,
my mouth. Like, what?
I mean that's just a common thing that the teens say. I feel like they took that right out of the high schools.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that was, but I think that's what's dope about that show. Is like it's like real nostalgic. So like when you watch like the first season, it's like it brings you back to that Karate Kid days, them Mr. Miyagi shits, and
Wax
uh
on, wax off.
yeah, 100%. I'm so sorry, though. My daughter.
I know you good, man.
Go to mommy. Go to mommy. Close the door. Close. No, no. There you go. Sorry, dog.
No, you good, man. You getting in on the you doing the crypto stuff, man?
Nah, I don't trust it yet. I think
Yeah.
I think I think it's an eventuality. Like I think uh like eventually there has to be a currency that is universally
Hmm.
accepted. I think eventually we'll get there.
Right.
But this one's kind of volatile, right? Because it's just up and down. So it's
Right.
like if it kind of goes with the market of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or whatever it is,
Hmm.
like, and that to me is dangerous. Because what if it's really up and then the next day it's really down, but
Right.
that's the rent is due on that day. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like that shit doesn't make
That
a lot of sense
yeah.
to me yet. But I mean, I also haven't really looked into it like that. So I mean, pretty sure there's a Bitcoin dude that has an answer for that shit, but I don't have one.
Listen, if they have an answer, they'll let you know. Because I think Bitcoin dudes becoming like the new, I get like CrossFit or like vegan or like don't yeah like don't I don't own a television. My pet is a rescue animal. Like just one of those things. Like they're gonna volunteer that information to you. So
No
somebody
question.
will let us know how incorrect we are on this. Because I've looked into it. So I just don't get it. I'm not even in front
Yeah.
like I get it because
Yeah. I haven't even attempted to look into it. That was just me just spitballing thinking of the pit. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure they have an answer for it, but I don't even care to right now. Like I don't think it's gonna take over in the next like
right.
probably in my lifetime. But who knows?
Only interest I have now because I don't know if you've seen this. You can sell tweets now, and you can sell tweets for yeah for it's called Ethereum. It's like Bitcoin. It's one of the cryptocurrencies, and I haven't quite figured it out because it's like you can sell it but still own it. And it's like, well, if I sell it, then I don't own. Like I don't. That's what I don't get. But people are starting to make offers, so I'm looking to It all must go. I'll sell any tweet. Any tweet must go.
I'm getting all these tweets off.
I'm getting all these shits out of here, dude.
I don't understand. How the fuck can you buy it? I don't know. Maybe it's intellectual property. Maybe I have no idea.
I don't get. But even I feel like in the Twitter terms of service or whatever, I feel like they're like, hey, no matter what you do, we own this. Like you can.
Yes.
So I don't know. But if I can run up a little Ethereum off some tweets I sent 4 or 5 years ago, I think I'm gonna have to do it.
You got one of the stronger Twitter games around, man. That's for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about yours, man. I feel like you've been online arguing a bit lately. I just want to make sure everything's. You was arguing about Tom Brady.
So I got. It always happens when I'm faded and I get on Twitter. You know, that's when it always happens. Because I'll be like, who the fuck does this nigga think he? And so every time I get drunk, that's what I be arguing with idiots. But yeah, I should not. I mean, you're right. I'll be on it too much. It's my favorite social because I don't be on the gram like that. I don't have a Facebook. TikTok is for like minors, and so it's like
I don't even gonna try to get in on that. Like that's not creative for me.
It's not a wave I'm finna hop on. But I think like if I get into the content game like Max, like with streaming and shit like that, I'll have one, but I'll have somebody else run it. But like it's so Twitter's my only social media, so I'd be active on there. Like I think Twitter's the best social media. It's just news breaks on there. Like I mean, it's just a great app, and doing it while you're drunk is not the best idea.
It's either the best idea or the worst idea. Sometimes within like the same, like while you tweeting, like you might have you got a good couple points about Tom Brady. Bam, bye. He played with a good team, bye. And then one person take it too far, and you're like, nah, man, I'm finna call this baby ugly. It was on your head.
No. I don't. You know the funny thing? He actually posted a picture of his daughter or baby or whatever, like later on in the night. I was like, oh shit, it was pretty cute little baby. This is
a bad.
It was just his avatar. Like it was just me talking shit. Like nigga, shut up, your baby. Like, I was just joking. I didn't even see his baby.
It wasn't about the baby.
It wasn't about the baby. It was about him and me trying to twist a knife, nigga.
Wait, so how did the Tom Brady? Like, what was the? Were you on the Tom Brady is the GOAT side or not? Which side of that were you on?
I don't feel like Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Okay, who do you think is?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, why?
Yeah. I think like just like tool wise, he has the best tools. Like he has he has one of the best arms, one of the most accurate arms. He's just great, dog. And I think when people hear me say that, they think, well, what about the 7 championships? You're hating. And I'm like, dog, I played football. So it's like, dog, I could have had I could have felt like the best I've ever felt in a game. Like, but if my line don't block, I ain't going nowhere.
It don't matter, yeah.
Right? Shit doesn't matter. So it's like, in order to win in football, there's so many variables. And so like the championship shit that they love to hark on, I think that's like a basketball conversation. Like LeBron James can will his team to a championship. Like Tom Brady cannot. I'm sorry. You can score all the points in the world, dog, but if your defense is giving up the booty, ain't shit gonna happen.
Right.
Like it just is what it is. And like, there's a whole half of the game where this nigga's on the bench. And so it's like, and likewise, I played the same sport. So it's like, but I would never like think of myself as the greatest athlete of all time, much less anything like that. So when they talking about he's like the GOAT, I don't look at it like championships. Championships are kind of like to me, because me playing a sport like somebody like Barry Sanders, who's obviously objectively one of the greatest athletes that have ever played. Just skill set wise, you're not going to see anybody do what he did on a football field. Like before or since? No, it's not going. I will probably won't see it in my lifetime. This nigga has never played in a playoff game, so it's like you can only do so much without having pieces around you. Megatron, one of the greatest receivers of all time. Andre Johnson, one of the greatest. If you don't got the squad, you don't got the squad. Like, and I think that's it. Like Dan Marino, same thing. Like obviously one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. It's like if you don't have a squad around you, you're not going to win games. And so it's like Tom Brady has. He's definitely one of the GOATs, right? I would never say he's not good. Like,
right.
That wasn't my argument. But like when you're breaking down like attributes, to me, there's quarterbacks who have better attributes than he does. That's what it is. And I think, I mean, anybody who studies the game would agree with that. Like, he doesn't have the best arm of all time. Like, that's a stupid, silly argument to make. But I think all these cats from Boston that go to Supercuts, they be getting in their feelings. And I was just on there talking about my sports opinion. You know,
Right.
this is my opinion.
No,
like,
see, that's where you're. That's not how this goes on Twitter. Long enough to know.
This should be killing me. To be like, let me be like, oh, you're trying to stay relevant. I'm like, bro, I don't give a fuck. You on my feed, nigga.
Right? Yes, you signed up for this. You understand, and you can unsign up for it anytime you like.
Anytime you want, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm on here just like you.
So where's Brady? Where would you have him in your greatest quarterback, best quarterbacks, whatever?
I haven't thought about this, so he's definitely like top 3, top 4 for sure.
Okay, where do you have like Mahomes? Like, is it too soon for Mahomes? Like, where do you have Mahomes?
He's well, yeah, it's too soon to because I think when you talk about football, longevity is a factor, right?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I think has the tools to become the greatest quarterback of all time. Like, this nigga is insane.
There's nothing he can't do. There's no, like, it's literally no throw he can't make.
No throw he can't make. He's really good. He's not great like a Vic or
Cunningham
or Jackson. Yeah, he's not great with his legs, but he's good. Like, that's like Aaron Rodgers, right? He's really good with his legs, right? But there's no throw he can't make. There's nothing he can't do, and so it's like it's just staying healthy for him. I think if he stays healthy, they have every opportunity. He could make a little run, a little dynasty.
Yeah, I was 2 years ago where they played the Patriots, and it was like he did, I guess 3 years ago now, that he did everything he could have, and D4 lined up off sides. Like, that goes to what you were saying. Like, you can do everything right.
Yeah,
you line up off sides, you lose the game. You don't get the ball back in overtime. Somebody miss a field goal. Somebody fumble a snap on the field goal, and your 400 yards and 3 touchdowns means nothing.
Nothing. And that's the shit about football. If you look at, like, you remember the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl, I think it was with Trent Dilfer.
Yeah.
Like
one of
bro,
the GOATs, yeah.
This nigga, the Ravens defense was they carried an entire team. Like, that, they carried that whole team. Like, the offense was okay, right? But they carried a team to the Super Bowl with how good the defense was. So it's like, but you still needed the offense to score points, or else it was a zero. You're gonna tie every game? No, like, you need other players. And I think that's what's frustrating with me, especially when me playing the sport, knowing like, no, I could have, like, there were games that I had a lot of yards where I didn't do that well.
Right.
And there were games where I didn't have a lot of yards, where they were like one of my best games I ever played was against Washington in 2014. I had like 103 yards, right? A blip. Nobody's ever going to remember that. But that, to me, was one of my best games because of how I got those yards. It was really, I shouldn't have got a lot of the yardage I did.
Right.
But because, certain niggas filled a hole, niggas didn't block, whatever the case may be, nobody's going to remember that game.
Right.
And to me, that's the epitome of football in general. It's like, you need the squad.
At the time, like, do you know how many? I mean, I guess you can like ballpark it, but do you know it's like, oh, I'm up to 87 yards now? Oh, I'm up to 92 now. Like, you can.
Niggas watch.
But do you find that on the side? Like, do they keep, like, in basketball? I know you can just go. They, like, Jordan would go over there and be like, okay, I need 2 rebounds for a triple double.
If I was that like obsessive about it, I could have had somebody tell me, like, had somebody on side, like, yo, let me know when I'm whatever. Like, it was never like that big a deal to me, but I was always like, you could see in the stadiums.
Oh yeah.
In the stadiums, they have sometimes they'll flash your yardage, but what they always had was fantasy stats throughout the the day, right? Because the fans love that shit. So you can see where you're at on the fantasy. Like, okay, I got it. Right. Okay, let me.
Did you fuck with fantasy? Like, you play fantasy?
Yeah, I play. I got a league with a bunch of partners I played with. It's fun.
Did you play like when you were active in the league?
I played 1 year.
How was it?
Told my family, it was my family who convinced me to do a league, and I told their ass up because it's different, dog. Like, and playing now and playing then was because, like, I knew, like, like that's what I did. I went to, I got up every morning and I studied defenses. I got up every morning and that was my craft. And so I knew every player on every team, right? I knew what the defenses were trying to do. I knew matchups, right? I knew this team would match up well with this team because of how they play. Like this is the shit
preferences and all that.
Yeah, and so like defenses, I knew what defenses to pick like on bye weeks, or I knew if a nigga got hurt, I knew who was going to play well. Like if there's a really good running back, but against a certain defense, like I just know how it matched up. Like nigga, I blew their ass out the water. It's hilarious. I don't think I lost. I don't think I lost. Yeah, I definitely picked myself.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's the thing. Like you either have to, or somebody's gonna like
I went
go over. Like they take you one pick before.
I was my first pick. Fuck that shit.
Smart. Stack the deck. That's what I say.
Stack the deck, dog.
Okay, so you talked about Bear. Who were some of your other like favorite running backs of all time? Because I love talking to running backs. I don't know about paying them, but I love talking to them. Yes, listen, you're a close personal friend of mine.
Worst take.
Dime. It is what it is.
This your worst take, but we can get into why. But
we can get into that.
All right, my favorite running backs of all time is obviously Barry Sanders, Eric Dickerson, Walter Payton. I loved watching Adrian Peterson run. Marshall Faulk, LaDainian Tomlinson. Like these are goats, man. You know who doesn't get enough credit but is a fucking Hall of Famer is Edgerrin James.
Oh, I love Edge, dude.
Edgerrin James is one of the greatest of all time.
Like from day one.
That was my holy shit, I'm in the NFL moment. It was when we were playing the Jets in 2012, and it was like my third year, or maybe third or fourth year. And I was watching the telecast back, and they had a graphic up that said I was the third fastest player. I think second fastest player to 5,000 all-purpose yards, and Edgerrin James was first. And I was like, "That's crazy."
Like, yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah, but that was like, because I think like during when you're in it, you just playing ball, and it's what you've been doing your whole life,
right?
But like you never like step outside of like what you're doing, like, and it's surreal because you grow up loving the game and shit. But yeah.
Who you like now? Has it got like guys you watch now, or?
I think if he stays healthy, Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the game.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, why number one?
His skill set is insane, dog.
His balance is. I think that's what. Like, it don't matter how he gets hit, where he gets hit.
Yeah,
I feel like he can always like land like a cat or some shit. Like he just land on 2 feet, ready to go.
He's insane. Yeah, I think he's the best in the game. I know obviously Derrick Henry is fun to watch, right? This nigga's just like a bully on a playground. That shit's wild.
I think it's mean, man.
They be throwing the niggas out the club like that.
He's a bad guy, man. Like he's very rude. Very rude.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara, I love his game. I love watching him play. Yeah. Like he's one of the cats that like because I don't really watch ball like that. But if he's on and I got the time, I'm gonna watch him because I love watching him run.
Would you pay him though?
Hell yeah. Okay, let's get into why this is a stupid take.
Let's talk.
Running backs are you have to be the best athlete on the field to be running back. And I'm not saying that because I'm a running back. I'm saying that because of objective facts. In order to be a top tier running back to where defenses game plan for you, you have to be able to run like receivers. You have to be able to catch like receivers. You have to be able to block like a tight end. And you have to be able to there's one more thing, but I used to do this for a living. I'll think in a second.
Those feel like the main three. Yeah.
You have to have the most vast skill set of anybody, right? You have to be tough. You have to be durable. You have to be able to take hits. You have to be able to give hits, and then you have to be finesse enough to catch. Like it's just there's so many skill sets that you have to partake in, rather than like a receiver. All you got to do is be able to catch, run good routes, and be fast. Like that's you don't have to be tough. You don't.
Blocking is like a plus. If you receive it, it can block. It's a
them
plus.
Niggas don't block. Them niggas may block on occasion, but like them niggas, you don't have to block. Right. Linemen, same thing. Tight ends, same thing. Quarterbacks, it's definitely the same thing. And so it's like you have to be the most complete player on the field if you want to be a top tier running back. And the reason why you pay them is because if you look at any great Super Bowl runs, all of them do what? Do they do one thing? You run the ball in the playoffs or leading up to the playoffs. They call it cold weather football, where you play good defense and you run the ball. If you look at Peyton Manning, every one of Peyton Manning's championships, you run the ball and you play good defense. Tom Brady, same shit. You need a reliable running back. So go ahead with your stupid take.
But no, I didn't say they can't be reliable. I didn't say you don't need them. I just said you don't pay them because who's the lead? Like Leonard Fournette? They picked him up off the scrap heap last year. What's my man for Kansas City? Damian Williams, Darrell Williams. They got two Williams.
Damian Williams.
Yeah, Damian Williams. You can find them off the scrap heap.
No,
That's I'm not saying they're not important.
You love picking the examples that they shine, right? They were never not. Damian Williams played with me when I was in Miami. I knew I was like, yo, he's gonna be nice. But he was behind me and he's behind Jay Ajayi at the time. And he was still making plays, but you just never heard of him because it was like a 50-yard run here or whatever the case may be. Right. And that's not gonna be on people's radar. But I knew he was gonna be nice. Yeah. And so it's like he just needs the opportunity to shine. He's a good running back. And so what you do is you pick the cats that end up shining. But you don't talk about the cats that they pick up and they don't ever make a blip in the radar because they weren't as good, right? It's just like when people be like,
they stuff to help my case, of course.
But it's not logical.
But here's the thing: I feel like that proves my point. Like as nice as he was still third string. Kansas City got him for what? Pennies on the dollar, like you know what I'm saying? And he was nice. I'm not saying it's not good business, right? You could there's plenty receivers you could say the same thing about. Quarterbacks, you could say. I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that. I wouldn't pay them either. If I had a team, I wouldn't pay a single player. No one would make it.
So you just as an owner, you a Republican. You just fuck that. Fuck these.
I am every NFL owner ever. Yes, it's true.
I like to pay my employees. You the NCA is what you is, nigga.
Listen, you're getting some store credit. We'll give you a couple, you know what I'm saying, a couple school books and whatnot, but minimum wage, maybe. Anything over that.
Niggas gonna unionize against you.
Hey, good luck. Good luck is what I say. Because they, like, you talking about the Patriots, man, they had James White. You're running back playing receiver. They cooked with him. Sonny Michel had the one good year. And they ain't even, I guess my thing more than that is like, Nick Chubb, I think, went like 2 picks after Sonny Michel. 2 or 3 picks like that. And it's like, if you taking one first round, he got to be that deal, right? Like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he was nice at LSU. He was nice this year. He's going to be nice.
Right.
But you had, like, again, Damian Williams. If I got Mahomes and all this other stuff, I'm not using the first round pick. And, like, I'd much rather, even if he not going to play immediately, offensive line or defensive line. And I feel like I could find. You
can't, my nigga. I'm telling you, it's just not like they got lucky with Damian. They got lucky with Damian Williams. Don't forget before that they had Kareem Hunt, right? So they value that position. Andy Reid knows what he's doing. He knows.
Ain't pay him either.
But that's what I'm saying. But they know he was a first rounder though, wasn't he?
No, he was a third or fourth.
He was about to get paid before the fiasco. He was definitely about to get paid. But that's what I'm saying is the value of it is devalued because of the media, my nigga. Like literally because of hot takes like this and them saying this is a quarterback driven league. Like that's literally why that position is devalued. Because if you look at the analytics, you need running backs in late season games, late season runs and playoffs. Like you need that shit. Most clubs understand that shit, but a lot of teams, I mean, like some of the greatest coaches out right now, like Sean Payton, they paid Alvin Kamara. Like they understand the value. Like you have to, like you can't just grab anybody and get his production. Like you can't do it.
Sean McVay paid Todd Gurley. It didn't work out so hot.
But that's just it happens. How many quarterbacks we seen paid along the years that end up bust? I mean, it happens all the time.
After, like, I was thinking for a while, I was like, okay, maybe you do need a elite quarterback. And then Nick Foles won the Super Bowl. And I was like, okay, listen, I'm no more will I be talking.
And how did they win that Super Bowl? They ran the ball and played defense. I'm trying to tell you,
who was their first round running back though? That's what, like, I'm not saying I'm a running game. I'm just saying you can find it again. Nick Chubb, second rounder. Kamara was third or fourth round.
But hold on. You can't. you think of it like that's what he was, or that's what his. No, that's just where they drafted him.
Mm-hmm.
He's an elite level talent, but that's just where they picked him. Like I didn't get drafted. So it's like, but they fucked up. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So it's like, but it's like I think you think of it like you can get them anywhere. But like, no, you can't, because how many second rounders didn't pan out? How many first rounders don't pan out? But this is why you have to value the position as what it is. It has nothing to do with where you're slotted in the draft.
Well, I think my thing is, like, you can find, again, elite, like you said, Kamara, elite. Derrick Henry was a second, I think. I know he wasn't the first.
Yeah, second round.
Find that else. Yeah, I don't know, like, how often, like, you get a Russell Wilson, a Dak, you know what I'm saying, a good quarterback later on. But for the most part, if I got early picks, I wouldn't take a running back. I wouldn't take tight end either. I'm not just picking on running backs. I just like tight end for the same reason.
That's wild. I mean, he has to be but like this is why I say that's a little bit of a false equivalency, because if tight ends are not as incremental as running backs are,
I would agree with that.
They're not as involved in the game. Like tight ends, you maybe get like a good game is like 6-7 catches.
I was unless you like Kelsey or something, like one of the.
And that's what I'm saying. And that is elite, right? And that's rare. And so
not a first round.
But if you know he's going to be that, you take him in the first round. There's no question.
Well, see, that's no, go ahead.
What I was going to say, like the reason why they devalue running backs is because it's the hardest position to play. It's the reason why that position has the least amount of longevity.
Yeah.
Because it's the hardest position to play. It's hardest on the body. So it's the hardest to be good at it for an extended period of time. It's just hard to do. And so when they look at drafting cats at that high, they think I'm going to get elite level production out of them. Right. They don't know that they're not, or else they wouldn't take them. Right. But if you have elite level production from a running back, it blows your chances out of the water. I mean, it gives you a way better opportunity to win. It just puts you in a better position, a higher probability of winning. So look like Derrick Henry, right? Mm-hmm. He basically willed that team to and through the playoffs. I think they made it to the AFC Championship, did they? Last year they did. Yeah, last year. That's what I'm saying. But like if they have an elite quarterback, right? If they have a defense that's top 10, they fuck around with the Super Bowl, right? And that's the thing, is like you have to respect the value that the running back gives the game. I feel like you'd be banging on the squad, man. You'd be banging on the alma mater.
So you had enough of my shenanigans.
Nah, it's funny.
Well, I say this for Derrick Henry because my thing was like, okay, like if you're gonna pay him, cool, because like he a beast. I can't pay Ryan Tannehill twice that. Like that's my whole thing. Because Ryan Tannehill, he cooked with them.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. But y'all niggas, and I say y'all niggas because you were part of the problem. They devalue the running back so much that they'll overpay quarterbacks all day long and nobody says a fucking thing.
Now that I agree with.
But that's the thing, though. It's like the reason why they overpay is because it's okay to overpay quarterbacks, right? It's okay. But as soon as you pay a running back at all, they're like, I don't know about that one, man. They're gonna get hurt or whatever. So what? That's business. Business is nothing but risk taking. It is what it is.
No, I agree with that. My thing is like Giants took Saquon. I think he was either 2 or 3. He was up there. Mm-hmm. And again, like you said, he could be as nice as he wants. That team is shit around him.
And that's front office shit.
That's what I'm saying. It's not his fault. Yeah. But it's almost time to pay him, right? And like y'all wasn't winning when he was cheap. Y'all gonna win now that he making 4 or 5 times. Again, not his problem, right? Get paid. By all means, get paid. But are they gonna, if they're trying to win?
I'm just ethical though. I know most of the NFL isn't, but if I'm the New York Giants organization, I'm like, you know what, dog? This young kid is he's one of the best talents that this league has seen. He's just unbelievable, right? I'm letting him go because there's nothing I'm building over here. I don't have no quarterback plans. I don't have no defense plan. I don't know what the fuck they're doing actually, but I'm letting him go and saying, go get your money and go have a chance to compete and enjoy your professional career.
You're talking crazy now. That ain't no NFL.
I'm thinking about ownership wise, right? I'm not thinking about head coach. If I'm head coach, I'm like, no, I need him to win. But if I'm an owner, I'm like, bro, Go ahead, because like
we're gonna waste your prime, man.
yes,
Like,
this is exact. I feel like so many teams waste people's primes because they're like they give us a chance to be somewhat competitive, right? But it's just like you ain't doing nothing to help. Like you know who really kills me with that shit is Green Bay. They'll always be competitive because of Aaron Rodgers, but dog, they have not surrounded him with talent. Like I don't understand. I don't get that shit at all. Like this last year, these last couple years has been to me the most talented offenses he's had. Like he had the running back, I forget his name, and I think Adams, the receiver. It's
Jones,
like
Adams, a beast. They line was like tough, but I think it was is either this past year or like the end of the previous year was the first time he threw a touchdown to a first round receiver or a tight end, and it was Mercedes Lewis, who's like 10 years deep in the game.
Insane. And I didn't know that. That's a crazy stat.
Yeah, that's a wild stat. And it's like, I think they do the same with Russell Wilson. Like, it's like that you take advantage, like you have a great quarterback and you take advantage of the fact. It's like, well, we're not going to fix the offensive line. Russ is good.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, they made some good moves. Like my boy play over there, Dwayne Brown.
Yeah, he's nice, but he can't block off 4 or 5 guys on his own.
Right. I feel like I think they took that nigga DK Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf a beast.
They did that. I think they had Tyler Lockett. I think they do a decent job of surrounding him with talent. They
no, he's got I mean, like but he's always running for his life.
That's true. That is low key his style of play. He's not like a step up in the pocket kind of quarterback.
Right.
He'll go like this and he'll reverse out a lot. So it's not totally the Lions' fault, but I do understand what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you make of like the Deshaun Watson? He catching heat. Brett Favre and people say like, "Hey man, you getting paid like this. You just supposed to take it." And it's like, if I'm him, he's like, "Listen, I'm one of the best at what y'all say is the premium position in this league. Y'all not giving me shit around me. Y'all said y'all was gonna give me some input on the head coach or like whatever they told him, whatever he believed. They did not do that, but he getting killed for wanting out of that.
Yeah.
So what do you make of that?
The narrative around black players trying to determine their future has always been the same, right? Like, but I guarantee Brett Favre didn't say shit about J.J. Watt saying going up to his owner and saying I want to release.
Right, Matthew Stafford.
Did that nigga get any flack for that shit, or did Matthews did any of them? I didn't hear any back.
I was gonna say not that I heard. I could say.
And the crazy shit is Deshaun, to my knowledge, he ain't even said anything. He just like puts out some quotes on Twitter and shit. And they're like, he's so messy.
Sources close to him.
Yeah, and it's like y'all are blowing the story up. This nigga hasn't even said anything. Y'all niggas is just gossipy, right? And rightfully so. Like they have gutted that organization for whatever reason. And I don't know why, but it's like if a player is disgruntled, is happy, like I think that's what people don't understand. I know that's what people don't understand. It's like, dog, I know so many miserable millionaires, right? And for various amounts of reasons, but because you reach a certain financial status, that does not absolve you of human emotion,
right?
And so I think that a lot of people don't understand. It's like, dog, I can be unhappy, and like people have committed suicide and they were wealthy as fuck.
You see it a lot. Any boy that ain't case space, like it happens, yeah.
100%. And I think it's because workplace morale, it's because your mental health, right? All of that shit matters. And so when somebody's unhappy with the situation, people think because you get paid a certain amount of money that you got to take that. That's part of it. That's part of it. But like, no, don't have to take shit. My happiness is not negotiable. I will say basketball. Yeah. Now I'm sure, like if however he wants to handle it. But I was always of the mindset, like, and of course I was a running back, and I'm from the project, so I didn't give a fuck who or where I play for as long as you pay me. I'm gonna do my job. I just didn't care like that. But I was never the one to be like I demand a try. I didn't care like that. I was like, I'll play here, so that's right. But if I
would have cut your ass in a heartbeat.
He doesn't love the game. I mean, that was always funny. But it was like I played my ass off. I wanted to win, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I really didn't care. Like, because it's like the funny is like the championship trophy. Like I can't take it home. This shit gonna stay at the stadium. Like, I just didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't care like this shit. But however he wants to handle it, he gonna handle it. But it's always funny, man, how people always feel like because a superstar athlete is unhappy, the money's supposed to make you happy. and which is the exact opposite of what we all pretend to understand about money. Is like money doesn't bring happiness. Like,
unless you play football, which apparently that's the only that's the exception to the rule. It would appear.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he should do what's best for him. Nigga want to set out a season or whatever. I don't know what his plans are. I don't know him like that. But go be happy, bro. This shit is fuck that. Go be happy. That's my
like advice. You literally putting your life on the line, man. At the very least, like, can you enjoy where you're doing it? Like, I mean, another huge thing, like Harden got killed for
same thing. Black athletes, dog. Same shit.
Well, and that's I feel like they're like, oh, the NBA player empowerment's coming to the NFL. Is that a bad thing? It's like, because guys are not just content, but like, oh, hey, you were drafted here, you stay here for the rest of your career. And people are like, no, I disagree. And they're like, this is terrible for the sport.
What a prima donna.
Yeah, this is horrible.
Imagine like the average worker who like complaining about that. Like, you're miserable at your job and you can't relate to somebody who's miserable at their job.
Right.
I don't understand that shit, dog. Like, you just want people to be miserable because they make more than you? I don't get it.
Yeah, well, I think it's that people want people to be miserable because they're miserable. I feel like you see that with like student loans or minimum wage. And hey, man, I flip burgers for $1.26 an hour. And it's like, didn't that shit suck? Like, wouldn't you not want somebody else to not not go through that? Like,
exactly. Yeah, the student loan shit be getting me, dog. Be like, you hear the people in the arguments like, I worked my ass off to pay off those things, and it built character. And they're like, my nigga, shut up. Like, I don't care. I like imagine you like me growing up how I grew up poor, dog, and being like, nah, kids, you guys have to stay in this halfway house because it was good for me.
It's good for you.
Builds character. Like, bro, no, I did that shit so other people didn't have to suffer. Nigga, like, have to. That's literally the definition of progress in humanity. But niggas, this spinning rock is awkward, bro.
I think we gave up on progress a long time ago. I feel like they just kind of chalked that up as a loss, and we just, I don't know what you call it now.
Shit, like I
think today, I know you seen like Tiger Woods was in a car crash, and it was Forbes wrote an article. It was like, let's take a look inside the car that he was driving to help save this. I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, this man, they said he had like, all I've seen, like multiple serious leg injuries. He had to be cut out of the car, jaws of life. And it's like, no. But let me tell you, he had seat warmers. He had 2 coffee cup holders. And it's like, gee, is this where we at right now? Is this
weird? This niggas is weird, dog.
Like, is this what this is about? Is this what we doing this for? That's what all this is for?
Niggas is weird, dog. I remember I was talking to Jamil Hill the other day on my Twitch, and I was telling her, like, because, like, you know, she's from the sports journalism world, and I was like expressing my disdain for a lot of the practices that they do, like in sports journalism, because it's just not necessary. So it's like one of the things, like, there was this dude who was I forget his name. It's not even important, but he used to, I think he played football or he was an athlete, and he was backing out of the driveway and he ran over his daughter and killed her. And
Todd Heap.
And there was articles written about this shit. And I'm like, how can you fix yourself to sit there and type about a man? Like, leave that shit alone. Like, because this internet shit is forever, dog.
Yeah.
And so it's all, you don't think that's gonna be in his heart forever. And now, like, people that know Todd Heap are gonna type in Todd Heap and his daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, there's no point in writing that fucking story, dog. But like, niggas love blood, dog. Niggas is sharks. Like, this shit is.
Yeah.
I'll believe in humanity when TMZ doesn't have millions of followers, when it's not a TV show. I believe in humanity when something like that is dead, when World Star Hip Hop is dead. I believe in humanity then, but until then, like, you niggas love blood. You niggas love death.
I just, like, I think about it. I was like, where did paparazzi come in? Like, at what point? Because again, we close to the same age. Like, growing up, I feel like it definitely wasn't like a TMZ thing. But at what point did it shift where it's like, oh, so-and-so leaving this restaurant, so-and-so got a divorce? It's like, that's a horrible thing to go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you want to, why do I need to read this? Why do I need to know about this?
I have no idea, bro. I it's literally some people's form of entertainment. Like, like, and they, like, the gossip and the blogs and then, like, who's doing who's fucking who. And I'm just like, my nigga, like, how are you this? Like, even like when niggas growing up, they used to gossip about people in school. And I'm like, I used to be like, why do you niggas care about other niggas like this?
How does this, my thing was always like, how does this benefit me? How does this affect, if it don't benefit or affect me?
I think the interesting thing is always like, if you ask people individually, they'll be like, no, I don't be into that shit. But it's like, somebody's into this shit.
TMZ got 35 million like that.
Shade room. Like, somebody's doing this shit.
Nobody admit to watching the Kardashians, but they've been on 15 seasons. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Is like everybody's like, oh, they're kind of like the token, like, you know, ditzy, like, and I'm like, but y'all niggas is watching this shit.
Right.
I can't
get mad at them. Like, it's
I never like this society is built on profit, dog. And I think of it differently now that I'm in the position that I'm in financially. I think I used to like revere people that made money. I don't anymore. I just don't knock it. Right. There are certain people who understand the system and how to game the system and to get people to flock to them in order to get profit. I respect it, but it's just not something that I look at like with any reverence anymore. Like I don't look at making money as this like, oh, he got the bag. Like when niggas, like when you see like Meek Mill be tweeting and he'd be like, I'm gonna get 100 M's by the or whatever. And I'm just like, that shit's not impressive to me anymore. Like I just don't care about shit like that. Like I maybe it is because of where I'm at, but it's like I also understand all the shit that goes behind that. In order to get that much money, dog, like you gotta be a shark. You gotta cut some throats. Like
like we was talking about it for like, is being a billionaire like inherently? I don't think being a billionaire is bad, but the way you get to being a billionaire. Okay, why do you think it's inherently bad?
Because in order to be a billionaire, right? Think about it. Steve Jobs or that nigga
Bezos,
all of these niggas. It's rare that you can do it with any kind of ethical practices.
I think that's where I was like, maybe it is inherently bad because it's like you don't just have a seed. Like I have a seed for $1 billion idea. You don't have that.
That's what I'm saying. So in order to do it, you have to exploit workers.
Yeah.
Like this is literally like the class fight going on with like, I don't know where you are like in your politics, but that's literally the class fight going on with like progressives and like liberals or conservatives, right? Like we say, what I consider myself a progressive, is we say is like dog, when they say eat the rich and billionaires are unethical, this is what they say. Because in order for Jeff Bezos to have the amounts of wealth that he's worth, why are you worth that much and your workers are striking?
It's poor, yeah.
Because they don't have health benefits that they need, or they don't have, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can literally with a stroke of a pen solve that, and it wouldn't touch your fucking.
I feel like it might even get you more people like, hey, I can support this. I mean, people still support it clearly, but people like, I can support a clear conscience because I know these people are making a decent living. I know people not like working their fingers to the bone to make a little bit of nothing. And still it's like, nah, I feel like every week I see is Bezos the richest person. Oh, now Elon Musk passed. Oh, now it's Jeff Bezos. And it's like
fucking, and none of that shit is impressive. And to me, that shit is gross, though. I would never want to be that. Like,
I don't know. You speak for you.
Never. Nigga, never, nigga. Like, when I look at our society, like literally wanting to be a billionaire, this is the direct result that comes from it. You get TMZ, you get like, this is it, because it's not about substance. It's just about how can I turn this profit? How can I get this money? And you cut corners and you do shady business.
Fuck people over, yeah.
That's the only way to do it, dog. Like there's no ethical billionaires. You can't be, dog. Like you can't be.
Yeah. And that's where I'm at. Like for a while I was like, yeah, no, like black capitalism's the way. And it's like, I feel like like they just want the money so they can do some of the oppressing. It's like, hey, I want to step on some
nigga.
Yeah, I want to step on some throats too. I want to.
And you know what's funny is like we have, as black folks in general, like because we have separate problems from mainstream America, but the biggest thing about black folks that I just do not fucking get, dog, is like we have all this reverence for Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Fred Hampton, the Black Panthers, and all of these like black movements that have helped liberate our people in this country. And we don't fucking read any of the shit that they say.
Right.
And we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. Like, there wasn't one black revolutionary, dog, that has helped us from slavery times to today that says black capitalism is
the key.
Liberation.
Yeah, that was Malcolm X. You didn't hear that Malcolm X speech where he was like, serve the almighty dollar? You don't remember that?
Profit over brother.
Yeah, you did.
That
was like, he did that one at the Audubon.
Like this nigga MLK was a democratic socialist. Like the Black Panthers were socialists. Like there is like capitalism is the bane of this society. It has ran its course. It's done a lot of good. I would definitely admit that. But it's time to move forward to an ethical economic system. And this is not ethical. Like, how is it since the 70s, nigga? That is,
it's literally 50 years.
50 years ago.
That's crazy.
50 years ago, the wage gap has grown exponentially.
Right.
What was the other statistic that I read the other day? The minimum wage has stayed the same. What the fuck are we talking about? What are we doing? And so, like, all of these, like, there was that big Harvard study that just came out too. There's this Harvard study that said trickle down economics doesn't actually work. And so,
who knew?
Right. And so it's like, we've been screaming this shit for years that when you get that much money, you tend not to put it back into your employees or put it back into creating jobs. You tend to go to the Cayman Islands. You tend to
find ways to skirt the rules. Like,
what you basically do is you wash money with charitable acts. That's all that shit is, dog. So that tax write-off, when they're like, that's all you washing money, nigga.
It was Bezos. They was like, hey man, he gave, I don't know, 5 million, 10 million, whatever, to a foundation he started for charity. I was like, so he moved some money around, is what I heard.
That's all it is,
he's going to help. Like, he's going to help, but you're not telling me he didn't give $10 million. He moved $10 million.
Nigga washing money, bro. And I think that's the thing, though, is like, people also don't understand how much $1 billion is. They hear million and billion and think that they're similar. Because like I'll get it all the time, like on Twitter and shit, and niggas be like, well, you're a millionaire and why don't you just give it away? I'm like, bro, I'm a few bad decisions away from being poor.
Right.
Like,
there's not enough bad decisions in the world to blow.
Dog, you cannot fuck off $1 billion, dog. Like, you have to try to fuck off $1 billion. Literally try.
Even then, I feel like you could get into whatever type of addiction you got. You'd be like, I still have $647 million left.
Nigga, you have to try to fuck that off. Like, you have to actively wake up and be like, I'm gonna lose my fortune every day. Like, people don't understand how much money that is, dog. Like, they hear million, it's like $1 million is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I have humble beginnings. I know where I come from, but in today's economy, it can go.
Yeah,
it can go fast if you're not careful. And like with the gap between an average worker and a millionaire is nowhere near the gap between a millionaire and a billionaire. They're not even close to the same thing. And so people hear them and they think they sound alike, and they also, like, people in America love to like bang for like billionaires. Like, they love to bang for these niggas. Like, like, bro, they're not thinking about you, bro. I promise.
They're not gonna let you fuck the money, though. Like,
but like they love banging for them because it's like that. It's like the carrot in front of the horse, right? It's like they dangle it and they want people to believe that you too can become a millionaire or a billionaire.
Yeah, you work hard and get 8 hours.
It's just not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
I had one of my homies. This nigga was just like so upset with me, but I'm just honest. He was like, because we were having an economic conversation. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to be a billionaire. I'm like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I was like, is that your goal? You want to be a millionaire? Is that the goal? He's like, yeah. I was like, I'll be honest with you, dog. I don't think it's going to happen. And he was like, and this is what
I think you're going to die poor, my nigga.
This is my dog, right? And he's like, why would you say that, dog? Like, why are you trying to shit on my dreams? I was like, dog, I said, it has nothing to do with your dreams. I hope you do. I hope you become the richest nigga in the world if that's what you want. I was like, but the odds of you becoming a millionaire are very slim. It's just not plausible for you to think like that. How you should think is, I want to be able to provide for my family and do the things that I love to do. Right. Because this arbitrary goal of $1 million is just something that that literally ruins your psyche. It just I've seen so many people just be miserable trying to get to do dirty things, and like it's just it should never be a goal. Like a certain amount should never be a goal. Like, and then I mean niggas always be like, it's easy for you to say, and I'm like, it is easy for me to say because I'm here. And I'm trying to tell you, like, once it like
take it from me. Like,
I'm trying to tell you, who would you rather listen to? Not a millionaire? I don't understand. Like, I think that was my biggest epiphany when I realized I was a millionaire, was like, damn, this shit isn't it. Like, because like now that I don't do anything like to to provide for myself, and it's just
you're unemployed. Yeah, I get it.
All right. I've had some of the most destructive self-destructive behaviors I've ever had in my life prior to this point, right? Because you have to sit with yourself.
Right.
And this is why you see cats that play in the league who they stay active. They have to stay active and doing something.
They go crazy, man.
Or they go, or you see them going crazy, or you see them in depression and all this shit. Because once you realize, and this is the opposite of what our society is self-reflection. But once you have that self-reflection and you don't like who you see, or you don't understand yourself, you got to sit with yourself. That's fucking tough to do, dog. That is not an easy. So like you just wake up every day and you just got to deal with yourself. That's why people self-medicate. It's why people turn to drugs, because it's not an easy thing to do. And we don't have the tools in this society. We don't market the tools in this society.
I feel like we have them. We don't. They're not.
To be a mentally healthy human being, because it's all about money. And that's what I'm saying is, once you get it, you realize, no, that ain't it. This ain't. Right. That's not.
Like if you have $1 million, like I want my bank account to read $1 million. I feel like it's so rare that you're gonna get, like, you finally did. You like, I did it. You're gonna be like, okay, now I need 2 million. I need 4 million. I need. And it was I was just looking it up to make sure I had it right. You know how long it would take you to count 1 million seconds? You probably heard this before. You know how long it would take you to count 1 million seconds? It would take you 11 days, 13 hours, 46 minutes, and 40 seconds. So about 12 days. You know how long it would take you to count 1 billion seconds? 31 years.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that's
shit's crazy.
That's not even 2 weeks to 31 years. And that's where it's
crazy.
like, I don't think we can, myself included, we can't grasp that kind of scale, like just that kind of difference. And then you hear about people having 2 and 4 and 10 and 60 billion. It's like, it's that much over and over and over again. It's like, you're not gonna,
if you want to blow that,
work your way into that.
Nah, bro, you can't hard work your way into that.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, I ate right and I got 9 hours of sleep, and I woke up and I was Warren Buffett. Like that. That's not really how this works.
I think that's the biggest lie that capitalism in this society perpetuates, is that if you work hard, you can be rich.
Right.
One of the thing that pisses me off the most about rich people is when they say that shit and they don't acknowledge the fact that a lot of their success had to do with fucking luck.
Yeah.
Fucking
luck.
That
had nothing else to do with them.
Dog, I was born in me and my brother was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This nigga was a talented football player, right? Just as talented, if not more talented than I was. I moved to high school in San Diego. He was older than me, but he stayed there. Not a lot of scouts come to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Right. I also had a coach who was telling scouts that he didn't want to play football for some fucking weird reason. And so he ended up going on a track scholarship. I moved to San Diego. Scouts was flooding in San Diego. I got seen by some dude who was scouting a quarterback, and I ended up going to the University of Tennessee. That shit's just lucky.
Yeah.
That's just fucking, I got lucky that my dad moved out and I went with him. Like, I just got lucky, dog. Even more so, I went undrafted. I lead the league in rushing the next year, the year after I'm undrafted. After that, my contract is up. So they put me on a what is it? I forget what they call it, but it's like a tag. They tagged me 1 year, and then they pay me the very next year. And then I end up getting hurt 3 or 4 years later, and like really bad, and I fizzle out. I lose interest in the game, whatever. But if I get drafted, I'm stuck into a 4-year deal, right? And then like it shortens my career. All that shit is luck. Yeah. The only reason when I got to play, right? Steve Slayton, I love my dog. he fumbled like 7 times in like 5 games or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
He was struggling, right? And they found out it was because he had a nerve issue in his arm. So it wasn't like, but anyway, he was fumbling. And so they brought me up from practice squad because I was on practice squad. And they brought me up as like motivation. You know what I'm saying? Then he ended up getting hurt. Then they were like, here's your shot. Took it and ran with it. That's all fucking luck. I could have been a special teams player my entire career, dog. And so it's like, there's instances like that. Every single nigga that's rich, every football player, every basketball player, every fucking businessman, every CEO, nigga, you got lucky along the way.
Right.
Sure, I worked hard. Absolutely, I worked my ass off, dog. I woke up at 5 and went to church. I prepare myself, right? I prepare myself for the event that shit goes down. But nigga, if it wasn't for those lucky events, I'd have been the most in shape nigga on kickoff team ever.
Right. He's the best gunner we've ever seen. I think it's something we might have talked about this on the old show, because it's something like I like to ask, like hard work versus luck versus talent, because I'm just so interested in hearing like where people say like of your I would consider you a successful person. Of your success, hard work, luck, talent, rank those 3 as contributing factors to your success.
Me personally.
You personally.
Talent, luck, hard work.
So hard work's last. Interesting.
Hard work is definitely last.
See that?
Think about it, dog. I grew up with niggas who couldn't put one foot in front of the other without tripping.
Right.
Just weren't athletically gifted. I was running circles around niggas my age when I was a kid. I was that nigga in Little League scoring 5, 6, 7 touchdowns, like wild shit, right? Like I was that nigga. So it's like I was inherently just born to evade niggas. Like, right. I was just good at it, right? Now that was my talent. I was just born with that. I could see, like, people when you look at if anybody who's ever watched me, my best skill was my vision. I could see the field. I didn't do shit for that. I just know when niggas anticipate. I just know. I didn't do anything for that. The luck is way more important than the hard work, because what if my dad never played college football? I would have never been interested in this. What if this nigga was a botanist? I'd have been into science or some shit, right? What if this nigga was a jazz musician? All I wanted to do was play the piano or whatever, right? I got lucky because he introduced me into that environment where this was my life. I loved football. I also got lucky with all of those instances I mentioned previously about Steve Slayton or Tennessee or high school. All that shit was all luck. Right. And then the reason why hard work is last is not to devalue it, because I do believe you should work hard. There's a lot of character building in it, and I think you can learn a lot of good lessons. But it just didn't play as big a role. It played a role, but it didn't play as big a role. If those other factors aren't there, there's no work.
Right, yeah. Something got to be third of these 3, yeah.
Like my nigga, if LeBron James isn't 6'8" and LeBron James is 5'8", we don't know who LeBron James is.
He can work as hard as he want. Like it ain't going.
That's what I'm saying. It just is but my nigga, you're 6'8" and you can move like that. Yeah, you worked hard. Sure, you worked hard. But nigga, you hit the lotto genetically. It is what it is. Like, and if you don't acknowledge that, then you're just being dishonest about your situation. It's like, nigga, I wasn't born 6'8". Nigga, basketball was actually my favorite sport, but I was 6'1", and I knew.
You like the way they dribbled up and down the court?
Where's that from, dog? Basketball.
Curtis Blow, man. Here
you go.
Hey, man, hold on. Not the side, but niggas used to rap about just sport. I like basketball. That was just.
But it was also back in the day. It's like rap was new, and so it's like niggas is excited, dog. Like niggas. I forgot we had that conversation with like hip hop is considered like it's basically when you just rap about rap. Like and
yeah,
it's like them backpack like cipher niggas like them niggas, you just metaphorically I'm the microphone and
I'm gonna tell you how nice I am. Yeah,
yeah, the entire track. But yeah, I think that just like in the real world, if you're not acknowledging the fact that you had a lot of luck on your side, you're just being dishonest. And it's basically what white people do with privilege, right? It's like they can't they can't get over the fact that they think it's like a card you carry around and shit.
Right.
It's like, no, sir, I'm white. That's not what that is.
Right.
It's just like inherently people don't view you as a threat like that.
Right. I don't know if you ever heard about the Invisible Backpack?
Mm-mm.
Like that is a book we have.
Sound like a cannabis song or something.
Hey, chill on my God. Chill on my God. It was a book, man. We had to read it in high school, and it's one of those things. Like at the time, I was like, "Why are we reading this?" And now I was like, "I think I got to find it." I just feel like I would understand and appreciate it a lot more now than I was like 15. But the Invisible Backpack is basically, it's like white privilege. It's an invisible backpack that white people have, full of like tools that get them out of situations, get them into doors that they don't even see. It's invisible to them, and if you point it out to them, it's like, I worked hard to get here. It's like, you did work hard, but your dad was also the CEO. Like it,
right? Exactly.
I know you worked hard to buy that house and all that,
right.
But you know what I'm saying? Mom and dad pay for your college semester by semester, which put you in a position.
Exactly.
Like
and
that's.
If you look at all these success stories, like I love seeing those things where you see like pictures of Jeff Bezos with like a written Amazon sign on his desk when he first started out. Like nigga had like
he always believed. Yeah,
and like nigga had like a $250,000 loan or some shit like that. Like, bro, that's not fucking like. Granted, you had a great idea, you executed it. Not knocking that. I understand it, but like, not everybody can go get a $250,000 loan. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
yeah. Well, it's also
just, It's just rare. So like success stories like in capitalism are rare. They do happen where it's like, nigga, I got it from the mud. But that is not the norm. Right. That is not how the majority of million and billionaires are made. It's usually with a helping hand.
As I don't know if you see them. I love anytime the stories is like, hey, take a look at how, this woman got out of $250,000 of college debt, and you can too. And it's like the first step was like, well, my dad was an investment banker. My mom started, her own law firm. So I lived with them till I was 32. I was able to pay all my loans. And after, it was just me working hard. It was just me working hard.
Exactly.
That was a part of it. Like, who worked harder than poor people? Nobody worked harder than poor people.
Dog, that's the big, bro. I say this to age your point, but nigga, I made millions of dollars during the pandemic through some investments that we made back in 2015. There are people out here working their ass off. I didn't do a fucking thing during this pandemic, and I got way more wealthy. I'm not even proud of that shit. Like, I was doing these investments back when I was like an Uber capitalist, and I was trying to get to 100 million.
Yeah.
And now it's just kind of gross to me. And now I'm just trying to figure out ways how to redistribute wealth and how to help communities out. Like that's my goal as a human now. But like I don't have no goal to get 100 million. I don't fuck that shit.
Right.
Because I see the game that's being played. I see how I didn't do nothing but push some papers and I got more wealthy. But niggas, I should be driving on the side of the road, dog, and see construction workers, and I see
that's hard work.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and so it's like it's not about how hard you work. It's about being in the right position at the right time, knowing the right people, right situation. Like all this shit matters, bro. And this is why people like me push for shit like universal healthcare, push for shit like student loan forgiveness, because we understand it's like, nigga, you can work your ass off, dog. You can do everything right and everything can go wrong. Right. And that's not okay. And we should have safety nets built into our society because we can't afford it to help and aid people, because that shit makes you go crazy, dog. Most mental health issues in our communities in poor neighborhoods are because niggas is broke.
Right.
And it just fucks up relationships and it fucks up your mental health. And it's like,
it's the root of everything. Like people you're going broke aggression, because school or like medical debt. Medical debt probably we did a thing in the Discord where we helped knock out some medical debt. It's like people are literally going in the hole because they got sick. Like that's insanity to me. Like that's
disgusting. It's disgusting.
Like damn, you had a heart attack and now you lost the house. Tough break. You weren't working hard enough. Maybe you should have worked a little bit harder.
I think it's like 70% or something like this. Like 70% of America can't afford a $500 emergency. And that's like, think about it though. Like if your tire blows or if you happen to get cancer, it's like you're done for the rest of your life, and now you just in debt. Like
you climbing uphill because you had the audacity to get sick. You had the unmitigated gall to get sick.
What an asshole.
Yeah, what? You got to wonder why you didn't work harder.
Yeah, I mean, you got to
not getting diabetes, like, or whatever.
Yeah, work harder, not getting cancer, nigga. Work harder.
I mean, it makes you think. It really makes you think. I was going to ask you a minute. You follow the NBA? I know you say basketball is your sport. Like, you like watch the games now.
Yeah.
What do you think? And we'll talk like some ball later, but like just the way the league is covered. Because I love the NBA. I hate the way it's covered. But I'm curious of your thoughts on it.
I think they cover the NBA how they market it. They cover the NBA like the Kardashians. It's drama driven. It's always is that what you like? Is that what you were asking about? Like that kind of coverage?
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like my thing is like the way they cover it now. I don't know if you like Anthony Edwards, young kid from Minnesota. They had a crazy dunk, and people, and literally one of the best I've ever seen.
No question.
And it was like partnered NBA writers, like, okay, well, he's shooting 3 for 10 that game. His PER, and it's like.
Yeah,
like the number side, like that. I don't know. That's corny to me. And it's like the number side, the analytics side say they're not good, and then on this side, it's the older heads. Like
them niggas kill me with that.
The former players like Shaq. Like, hey man, like if you're not averaging 42 and 17 and 19 blocks, you're not shit. And it's like, how is this game with there are more talented players than ever?
But
how is this getting covered like this?
I think this is just the mindset of niggas who got money and have been been removed from not knowing where your next meal gonna come from. Is do you think this nigga wakes up every morning like, nigga, I gotta get my my stats up. I gotta.
My PER is too low, man.
Yeah. Right. Niggas don't care. Niggas come from nothing, and they're living out their childhood dream, playing basketball, providing for their family. Cover the game, bro, but like cut all that goofy shit out. Like, like you can critique a nigga, like, yo, I think his jumpers in mid range can use
right. This thing you can work on for sure. I ain't saying gas everybody up, but
all that other goofy shit, like this nigga, like I remember when Shaq said, he was talking to Spider Mitchell.
Yeah.
He said, that's goofy. Why, for what? You like, nigga, think about if you Spider Mitchell, that's his name, right? My fucking
name. Donovan. Yes.
Okay. If you him, nigga, Shaq is an icon and legend. This is one of your heroes growing up, and he gets on and said, I don't think you got what it takes to. What are you talking about? If you really feel like that, hit the nigga line.
Right, help me get there.
Sound like what are we doing, my nigga? Like, for I don't even know what it's for. What is it for? Is it soundbite? Is it your ego? Like, why would you say that?
Yeah,
makes no fucking sense.
Like my thing was like he said it after like game 7 of the regular season. It's like all I hear is that the NBA regular season is too long, and then somebody have a bad game. I was like, he didn't have that bad of a game. Y'all talking to him after the game won, right? For one. 2, last year in the playoffs, he couldn't miss a fucking shot, right? Like the team lost the series, but that wasn't on him. He couldn't miss. This guy like 23, maybe 24. I know they said, which I didn't know, he played baseball till he was like 16, 17. So he's relatively new to basketball.
That's great.
You got one of the like you said, one of the GOATs, icons. And he's like, I don't think you have what it takes to get to the next level.
That shit is goofy.
Why? Man. Like, what? I don't understand. What's the benefit of that? Like, what?
There is none. It's just we like talking heads are funny to me, man. Ex players that get on and because they're doing the same shit to TMZ and they just do it to sell their program or whatever they're on. Like, be controversial.
Clicks, man. Clicks is currency now.
Yeah,
like,
and
even bad click is currency.
And it's like there's no honor in that, in my opinion, bro. Like there's no honor in devaluing another human being, especially a brother, man, who comes from it,
right?
For no other reason than your TV show. And it's like,
right.
Bro, I just don't understand looking at it. Like I had been offered when I retired to like do like talking on about football, and I was like, hell no, like y'all not gonna catch me out here talking shit about niggas who are trying to provide for. Like I remember like being and feeling that way in the NFL, like of fans like talking shit, and I get it, it's part of it. But like me, I was like, my nigga, I'm just out here trying to feed my family. Like, it's literally my job. It's just
right.
I just grew up like didn't have water growing up there, food growing up. Like, nigga, this is all I had, and right. I'm just doing this, and y'all niggas is on my bumper for this. That's why I hated fantasy football and all that shit, because that's how I was rationalizing in my head. I was like, y'all niggas is weirdos, bro. Like, I'm just out here trying to feed my family. Me going to wherever you work and just being like, oh, you fucked that up. You fucked that up bad, nigga.
Man, that spreadsheet is horrible, nigga. You know
Yeah,
the worst I ever
yeah.
seen.
But man, this nigga the worst, bro. Look at this nigga. Look at the bum ass nigga.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah. And it's just like, dog, people don't think of it like that because we're your entertainment. I get that. I do understand that. But I just can't relate. I understand how you feel like that, but I can't relate. And I'll never like publicly bash like athletes like that, like or just people doing their jobs, or you know what I'm saying? Like, even with music and shit, right? Like when niggas send me this shit and the shit be whack, they'll be like, yo, let me get you on this and tell me what you think. Like, I'll never be like, yo, this shit fucking sucks, nigga. This shit sucks.
Right. It's the worst thing you've heard.
Yeah, because that would be the exact opposite of everything I'm about. And I'm about, like, I believe, like, a lot of people be like, man, we don't need everybody rapping. I hear that shit all the time because everybody raps. What I was like, nigga, in the 50s, everybody had a doo-wop group. In the 70s, everybody had a heavy metal band. But why is that? People do that shit, dog, because it's they're trying to express themselves as human beings. And this is a form that they're trying out. And who am I to say that you shouldn't do that? Nigga, express yourself. This shit is a weird thing. You just wake up and you're alive, nigga, and you don't know why we're here, and everybody just bumping. It's just weird. Life is weird, nigga. And so express yourself however you want to express yourself, dog. And I'm not finna sit here and judge it. What I tell people is, it's not for me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not something I think I would listen to, but I was like, but if you want my critique on it, I'll give you my critique of what would make me like it. But it's like, I'm not the arbiter on what's good and what's not good, my nigga.
Right.
But like, that's just how I view life. So it's like, I don't like to bang on niggas unless they're conservative.
True. But I feel like in the same vein, you also, if it was whack or something you wasn't feeling, you also wouldn't be like, hey man, this is fire, man. Hey, like grinding. Like that's not productive either.
Like, I remember one time I had a buddy who was on one of the head dudes at the radio station. He used to ask me to come up there. We had this New Music Mondays or something like that. And so like people would call in and send their music, and we would listen to it live and we would give reactions. It was really dope.
That's risky business, man.
Right, no question.
Yeah,
so one of these cats like called. He sent his music and I listened to it, and he's like, I want some feedback, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I don't find it appealing when people rap off beat. Like I right. I was like, yeah. I told him I like synchronicity and timing in my music. I was like, but there are plenty of rappers selling millions of records or whatever who rap off beat. And so it's like, so if that's what you're going for, nigga, I wish you well. I was like, but just me personally, that's not something that I look for in music.
Right. What about, have you thought about, I'm sure you have, but like, if you were like a talking head going on there to be that counter, because I feel like I fuck with like Randy Moss and Charles Woodson, right? I feel like they former players, but I could be wrong. I don't feel like I ever heard them like slam a guy. Again, you could say a guy needs, to work on something, or you can always get better. But I don't feel like I ever heard them be like, oh, you can't get to the next level. Like you just don't have what it takes.
I wouldn't say
that guy.
All my run-ins with Charles Woodson, he's been a real one, and Randy Moss. So
that's what I like. I feel like you don't fake. You can't fake that. They're not there to shit on dudes. That's
dope.
That's not what they're about.
Yeah, that's dope. I could never do it. That was one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is like, I just don't care about football like that. Like, so I'll catch a game if I want to catch it. I'll watch it here and there. But it's just like, I'm just not that into it to where I have to like critique it for my job. Like, I don't need the money. I don't want to be on TV for that. And so it's just not interesting.
But counterpoint, Shaq the other night, another Shaq thing, he was like, he didn't know Pascal Siakam's first name. And it was right, like I get, if you don't know like the 13, I ain't saying you got to know every single player on the team. This guy was like he was the second leading scorer on a championship team. He started the All-Star game last year. You know what I'm saying? And you're openly admitting you don't know his name. Like what's the benefit? Oh, I didn't. I don't follow it like that. Why? Then why are you here? Like what's the benefit?
And that's what I didn't want to do, right? I didn't want to be like, man, I don't even know who y'all talking about right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they should hit more threes. That's what I would do. I'll put the ball play defense. They considered that. Yeah.
Have they considered that?
Yeah. So you said you've been watching this season, NBA season?
Actually, this season is the first season I haven't in a while. Like I've been really busy doing like all my little side projects and shit. But I keep up with like Twitter and shit. That's how I saw that the nigga dunk. But yeah, I haven't even shit. I haven't even caught a Laker game this season yet, dog. And that's my squad, so
They finna put you at a Laker game, man.
it's all good, man. I was here through the Smush Parker days, so
The Chris Milne
yeah,
day.
yeah,
I was just curious how you still in Houston, yeah?
yeah.
I just want like how was like do people not fuck with James Harden now? Does anybody care? Because I felt like at the time I was like he's gonna get like these guys get traded if he want to get out he'll get out,
Right.
and they were like it's gonna hurt his legacy, and I was like I don't think people really care. Like ultimately I just don't think people really care.
No, I think I don't think they ever viewed James Harden as like they don't view James Harden like they view like JJ Watt, right? Or
Right.
Andre Johnson. Like this is Houston. I think
Right.
they always viewed him as like I'm glad he's repping. Right.
Right.
I don't that's the feel I get. I could be wrong, but I never got that sense where there was like, yo, he's home. Like, you know what I mean? Like Earl Campbell is Houston.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I think I never got that feel. I think they loved that he was here, but I don't think they ever I got that feel. Because basketball is not really the same.
Yeah.
It's like they go whenever and wherever they want to. Like, so it's not really. I don't think they look at it like that.
No, that's the thing. Like I agree 100%. It's like I don't know how many people like people be mad for a little bit after LeBron or KD leave or all that, but and nobody cares. Like you scoring 30 for the new place, nobody cares. Ultimately, nobody. It was like, oh, New Orleans gonna hate Anthony Davis. He got out of there. He played well. He won a championship. They got Zion. I don't think anybody's in New Orleans is like burning Anthony Davis. Like I just don't think
nobody cares like that.
Yeah, like
but it's also that's always kind of been the basketball culture though. Like because. Like growing up, like I wasn't a Laker fan. Growing up, I was a Bulls fan, right? I didn't really
bandwagon
have a team. No, see there you go. I didn't really have a team. I loved players, right? So I was a Jordan guy growing up. That was my guy. If I had the money, I'd have had all the shoes. I was my dude. And when he retired, I really was just like off basketball because I cried when what did I cry? That was Barry Sanders. Maybe I don't know. But
I was bad when Barry retired.
I cried. Nigga. I was like 10 or something. I cried. But like I was emotional when this nigga retired. I was like, damn. And so like basketball was just kind of watching. It was what it was. And then I fell in love with Kobe's game. It reminded me of Mike's game. And I was like, I'm a Laker fan now. It is what it is. Because like that he's on my squad and I'm rooting for them. So fuck it. And so at this point when Kobe retired, I was just like, I'm not finna switch teams now. Because I enjoy players. I guess I'm gonna switch teams. And then LeBron came out. I was like, nigga, bet. We here anyway.
I saw you posted. What was that like? Like, I don't know how close you were, but what was it like meeting Kobe? Like, or talking to him, interacting with him?
It was just a weird. He was the only person I ever was starstruck with that I've met. I've met pretty much everybody that I revered and loved. The only other person that I haven't met like that I want to is like Jay-Z. But his capitalist takes lately.
I was gonna say you gonna punch him in the stomach. Is that what you want to
do? Nah. I mean, we just don't align on certain economic issues. But I still love. I think he's the best rapper of all time.
I would agree.
But I think he was the only one where I was like, wow. It's Kobe.
Where did y'all meet? Like, where was that picture from? What
this was even crazier, and this is why I was even like, nigga, this is Kobe, because me and Andre Johnson, we were sitting courtside, and the Lakers came to play the Rockets, and he came over to shake their hands before the game, which was crazy as fuck.
I would say that's wild enough, like as is.
Yeah, because like in my head, and this is the weird shit about being like any kind of like if you have any kind of notoriety or fame. It's like I'm still me. I'm the little kid who was joking with niggas. Like I don't view myself as like anything. Like I play ball my whole life, and so for a nigga that I revered growing up to come speak to me, I was like a little kid. I was like, that's Kobe. But I mean, even like I met LeBron when he used to come. He used to like come shake it up, and that was cool. Like but I just didn't look at LeBron like I looked at Kobe for whatever reason. But so after the game, the security guard comes up to me and Dre, and he was like, "Hey, yo, Kobe wants to holler at y'all." And I was like, "Nigga, what?"
Kobe who? What you mean?
which
Bryant? What you mean?
And so I was like, I didn't believe it. I was like, "You for real?" He was like, "Yeah, come on." And I was like, all right, then nigga, let's
Yeah, what you
rock.
gonna say
So
no? Like, what?
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
I'm all set.
yeah.
Yeah,
Tell him I got some. I got one at the crib. My
yeah.
fault.
I'll catch you next time. Yeah.
So we go back there, and yeah, he just I didn't know he knew who I was, to be honest. Like and so he just starts talking. We start talking about, like, I just asked him questions. I feel like a little kid asking about, like, what to see. Like, he was telling me about, I don't know, all kind of shit, man. It was just like a weird fucking. I was starstruck. I can't even. I'm getting giddy now thinking about shit. It was really weird, nigga. So like, he's the only celebrity I asked for a picture for.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
and I was like, my nigga, listen, I get this shit all the time. I need a picture with you, dog. Like, you're a Kobe. He was like,
What,
nah,
I mean,
so
he was
yeah.
cool about it. Like everything I heard, feel like people was
Oh,
like,
he was like, bro, yeah, come on, don't worry about this shit. And even in the picture, that if you see it, if you look at it, like, he's like super cheesing, and I'm like trying to play it cool. Like, my homie, he's from he's from San Diego. My nigga was like, he said, bro, are you too fucking cool to smile in the picture with Kobe? And he's smiling. I was like, man, I couldn't see his face. I didn't know he was smiling. I was
yeah,
trying to play cool. I was trying
more
to
in
play cool.
agreement there. Yeah,
Yeah, I was trying to play cool, but like, I was like, it was one of the dopest moments for me, because it was somebody who you really revere and respect went out of their way to come say, tap in and come holler at you. So
right.
it's really dope. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, because I've seen that picture and I know the like he cheesing, but if you was the one cheesing and he was mean mugging, then I mean it's still Kobe, but yeah, you would have felt silly. So
Yeah, and
I get it.
I keep it cool, man. Keep it cool.
I get it.
I was crushed when that nigga died, dog. Like,
Man,
like
honestly, it's been over a year. I feel like I'm just now starting to like. Oh
yeah,
yeah, it's hit. I was like, I cannot
like
believe Kobe Bryant's dead. Like, I
I think
cannot grasp.
it was like 6 months or some change, and they started talking about a documentary and shit about it. I'm like, my nigga, it's too soon. Like, what y'all doing? It's way too fucking soon.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not watching that shit. But I was actually on tour, because I make music, and so I went on a little tour, and there was a film crew following us for Victor Cruz was doing some show, and they kind of just wanted to document some of it, and I was like, yeah, come through. And we were at my house, nigga, and I was scrolling on Twitter, and I was like, what? I was like, nah, that shit fake.
Yeah.
And nigga, I had never seen this shit before, dog. It was me, Victor Cruz, and my dog Spencer Paysinger.
Mm.
It was all of us, and I think one more cat in there. And when the news hit, like, we didn't say anything for like 10 minutes. We were kind of just sitting there, and we're all just like on our phones, and like bawling. I started bawling. Like,
Yeah, man.
I started bawling, my nigga, and like it was like 3 grown men crying. I've never witnessed that before. It was impactful, because, and I had to process, like, why am I crying that this nigga died? I'm fucking 33 years old. Why am I crying about it?
Right.
I don't understand this shit. But like really processing it over the next like 2 weeks, I got realized what it was. I realized that, and I'm over here venting on your podcast, but
No,
I realized that, like, seeing him die was like seeing, well, 2 things. It was like, I actually wrote it in the post, but it helped me out realizing this was, it's like you see your own mortality because that was the hero. And so it helped you, it helped you see your own mortality, but also it's like you lost a part of your childhood. Like, he was a part of my childhood. Like, I grew up on this.
He's part of everybody's child. Like, even if you wasn't a Laker or basketball fan, you knew Kobe. Everybody knew Kobe.
Yeah. And kind of coming to grips with that grief of yourself and seeing it in that light was really, it was emotional. And I think that's why Kobe hit so much different than a lot of different celebrities that have passed. It was because basketball is, sports in general, aside from like Cap, sports in general has usually been kind of apolitical, right?
Right.
Or neutral, where this is the one where we try to keep it out, right?
Right.
As a country. And so we're like, everybody enjoys this.
Yeah.
This is this. And I think that he was one of the ones who was like universally loved, and aside from the people who still bang on him for that case, but other than that, like, people are universally love him, and just seeing that part of yourself was just really weird, dog. I had never experienced that before. Like, it was really awkward.
that was it was one of those, like, I remember exactly where I was. I remember like one of the social media guys like just text was like, hey, is this true? Like you see like the text preview.
Right.
It was like, is this true? And I was like, okay. And I click and it was like Kobe Bryant killed in a helicopter crash. And I was like, what the fuck did you just send to me? Like, what do you mean is this true?
It's
One,
weird.
how would I know? Like, what do you think I got boots on the ground? And then it was a TMZ link and I clicked it.
Yep.
Because I was like, TMZ, like they got like Wayne wrong, but they wouldn't miss on this one. Like they wouldn't run with this until they knew. And the TMZ website was down. And I was like, okay. Like maybe that means like it was an accident, but he's not dead yet. Yeah. And then when it got back up, that's when I was like, oh my, like I remember, I don't think I sat down for 2 hours. I think I just scrolled the timeline. Because again, it was like they didn't know who was with him. They was like Rick Fox was with him. His whole family was with him. His only
conspiracy theory started.
Yeah, all this, and I don't know. Like that next month was All Star in Chicago, and I went and they had like different Kobe tribute memorial, and that was like a couple weeks later, and I was like, I cannot grasp. Like I understand that he's gone, but I cannot grasp that he's gone. I don't remember like my sports fandom without Kobe, and I wasn't even a Lakers fan. I just don't remember. Like why he joined the league when I was 8, right? So like all my sports memories, he was in the league. So that fucked me up. Like probably the most of anyone I've never met.
It's like, I don't know what it is. Like, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. But if Michael Jordan dies, like, I don't think I would get that emotional about him dying. And I hope he doesn't die. But I'm saying, I just, for whatever reason, I just wasn't that emotionally connected to Michael Jordan as an adult.
Right.
Like, as a kid, yeah, that probably would have shook me. And he was my favorite player growing up. But, like, there was something about Kobe in my youth that was like, I don't know. He helped me dream, dog. I guess that's the biggest thing. It was like, yo, that motivation helped me get to where I was at. Like, I'm gonna do that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that shit's, I don't know. It's just like a weird, it's irreplaceable. When
it
sucks.
It's like I more remember like the second. Like I remember the second three-peat of Jordan pretty well. But like I wasn't alive when Jordan came to the league. Like Kobe, I remember all. I remember the coming off the bench. I remember the air balls against the Jazz. I remember the three-peat. I remember the Kwame Brown. Like I remember all that. And then I saw after it was like in the entire history of the NBA, which is, I mean, it's really not that old as a league, but it's like 3 MVPs are no longer here. And it's Wilt Chamberlain, Moses Malone, and Kobe Bryant.
That's crazy.
Like those are the 3. And even I think Wilt was like 62, which as I get older, it's like 62 really wasn't that old.
It's not that old, bro.
Yeah, like when I'm like 10, it's like, he had a good run of it. You know what I'm saying? It was about his time. And then you get that age, and then I saw like the when they showed the Gianna like 2000 and whatever to 2020. That's what broke me down. That's why I was like, oh man.
And I think that definitely added to it as well. So I got a daughter, your baby girl, man. I couldn't imagine. And then the fact that his wife is just so like publicly trying to be strong and shit. Like I don't know, bro. She's way better than me because I'll be like, fuck, I don't give a fuck. I ain't posting shit. Y'all niggas suck my dick.
Yeah, y'all
like,
get the fuck out of here.
Because like it's gonna be tough because like you're the love of your life and or even his sisters, right? Or I mean his daughters, like your father was a cultural icon. And so everywhere you go, you're gonna be reminded of him.
Right.
And like that resolve you have to have, like that's I couldn't I don't know. That's just some shit I can't.
We talked about like guys representing, like if JJ Watt represent Houston, Kobe's that guy for the Lakers, and I feel like LA. Like when he get his statue like out there, that's just gonna be like prime time.
You know, this is when I knew though. I went to LA. I was always in LA. When I was in the league, I had a whole bunch of business out there. But you know, I like growing up, you see the 3P with Shaq and shit like that, or whatever. I thought like LA was like Shaq's town, like because he was the more dominant, more entertainment.
He's a big dog.
You know? You know what I'm saying? When I went there, and there was like, no, this is Kobe. Like Kobe's the dude here. Like, and I didn't know it. I was like, what? And I was like, wow, that's interesting to me. It was always interesting, but like Kobe was the dude there.
Yeah.
Like LA is Kobe for sure.
that's one of those things. Like I mean, I can still like go play wherever you want, but I really do think since then I've appreciated like Dame Lillard. Like he said, he's like I want to do this shit in Portland. Like I want to be here.
Right.
Like I can appreciate like Jokic in Denver, like Luka or Embiid in Philly. Like a guy's like, no, this is my city, right? Like when you think of this, I want you to think of me.
That's dope.
Yeah, like and Kobe did that shit for 20 years for the biggest franchise in one of the biggest cities ever.
Yeah,
and like they had the trade requests and all that. Like they had ups and downs, but I feel like that's part of it. Like if you don't tell that part of it, and even the court case, if you don't tell that part of it, you're not telling the whole story. And the whole story is what makes it the story. Like you can't have it ain't all ups. That's just not how life goes.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that? The new NBA culture of like team hopping. I don't want to disrespect it. I don't know what else to call it.
No, I mean player empowerment is the move. That's what they player empowerment. Like these niggas moving around, but they can't say that. I don't mind it. I really don't. Like I've long advocated. Like I don't think there should be an NBA draft or any sport draft. Like I really feel like you should just be like, hey, if you want, like Zion Williamson, it's like, okay, hey, you present your case to, like college. You present your case to him. If he wants the big market, maybe he'll take New York or LA. If he want to play with his friends, maybe them three agree to go somewhere else. If he want the most minutes, he goes somewhere. If he want the most shots, he goes somewhere. But it's like you just award this generational talent to a team that is down, like they in the slums for a reason. So I'm more than fine with that. How you feel about it?
That's interesting though. I like that. I like that actually.
Like I'm fine with like for the people, and anytime I say it, they're like, "Well, how you gonna do it for the NFL? It's like 300 players." It's like, listen, man, like you think we can do 7 rounds and undrafted free agents and all that? You think they couldn't be like, "Hey, man, like, hey, we're the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what you're getting. Like, hey, if you're willing, you're not gonna catch 1,500 yards. We got Tyreek Hill and Kelsey for that. But if you want to come play like your first contract here, you know you're gonna get single coverage if you're a receiver. You know you're gonna get as a running back. You know what I'm saying. You can decide what you want. Another team might offer you more money. You might want that. You might want to be in Miami, LA, New York, whatever. You might want to play with your friend. Like I feel like the choice. I want them to have the choice is all I want. So I'm all for it, man.
Man, I can't find an argument against that, dog. I love
I'm telling you, man, get rid of I'm so ready to abolish the draft, dog.
Abolish the draft.
Abolish the draft, man. I want
get some merch popping, nigga.
I gotta get the hashtag. I want that shit on, man. And I
like it.
The main arguments I've seen is like, well, some teams are just not gonna get talent. Good.
Yep.
Yeah, good. That's how. Yep. Listen, that's life. One, that's life. 2, if you haven't proved, like if you like the Timberwolves ain't won a playoff series in I don't know how many years. Why should they keep getting number 1 picks? Why do we, you know what I'm saying? Why do we reward that? The ownership don't change. They keep firing coaches. They star player keep leaving, and it's like, well, it must be the players. It couldn't be the owner. Couldn't be the one constant there.
I don't hate it. You know what that does? You know why I love it? It gives the accountability to the organizations rather than
100%
the players.
100%.
I fucking love that. Abolish that shit. I am 1,000% on board with that.
100. Like that's what it. Like, hey, okay, because again, basketball.
Make your facilities good. Yeah. Make sure you treat the players well, and I will give you my services.
And people will go it's people like I'm trying to think like all the stuff people tell me. It's like everybody will go to New York, LA. I'm like it's 12 roster spots. Everybody can't go, right?
100%.
And again, some people are gonna want some like, hey, I just want the most money. Some people I just want the most shots. I just want to play with my homies. And if you're like, hey, we the Detroit Pistons, right? We know it's cold and all that, but we're telling you right, like we're going to build the team around you. You're going to be our guy. We got top-notch facilities. XYZ, you can have personnel control or like whatever, Zion Williams. Yeah, or Oklahoma, whatever it is. If you like, hey, we the Lakers. If you come here and make the minimum, we'll make you a superstar worldwide because we're the Lakers. Mm-hmm. And he gets to say, okay, well, what do I value instead of just because some ping pong balls, you're going to the Pelicans. Like Chris Paul Hall of Fame point guard didn't work there. Anthony
Unreal.
Davis, gonna be a Hall of Fame big man, didn't work there.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to go there for at least the first like 7 restricted free agents, like your first 7-8 years. You got to go there until you at least 26, 27. No, I'm telling you, man, abolish the draft, man.
Hey, bro, I am on board with that shit. I can't find an argument against that. I think I love it. Actually, I actually think I love it.
That's like I was like I want like please tell me the whole like I'm not saying it's a perfect idea, but I know like the shit we got now is far
it's better than the draft. It's way better than the draft. And that's I think my visceral reaction was like, oh, what do you mean? That's
how dare you?
That's how it's done, my brother.
It's tradition. Yeah.
Think about it for 3 seconds, and I'm like, no, fuck that shit. Let these niggas cook, man.
Dude, Trevor Lawrence is about to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That shit sucks.
Like that's like that. Who is this benefiting outside of the Jacksonville Jaguars? Now, if it was free and they were like, hey, we can put you with Urban Meyer. We got new facilities. We got XYZ. We're going to spend the rest of our picks offensive line. You'll be the king of the city, whatever. And he's like, okay, I'll take that in consideration. Or if the Jets were like, hey, man, we're going to put you on every billboard in Manhattan, XYZ. Or if the Rams or Chargers, hey, you want to be in L, like whatever it is, he could weigh his options instead of being like, well, they went 1-15, so they get the first 9 years of my career. That's just I don't get to make a choice for myself.
That shit is I don't hate that shit at all. Okay, I actually love that shit. Yeah.
Spread the word, abolish the draft, man. Spread the word.
Let's do it. Let's do whatever we got to do. Whoever we got to kill, my nigga.
I'm ready. I'm ready, dog. I want to like because you are in the music like in the Kobe. Did you see like the Meek Mill Kobe thing lately?
What happened?
Meek Mill had a punchline on a song. It was like something about if I go out, I'm going out with my chopper like Kobe.
Oh, that ain't it.
Yeah. And so yeah, his wife came out and was like, hey, that's disrespect. She was like, I don't know who you are, Mr. Mill, but I don't listen to your shit. And basically that's distasteful.
His wife said it.
Yeah. And it's like I hate that she even had to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But I've seen, and so I'm curious on your take because some people's like, hey man, it's rap. Like it is no lines. It is no.
Well, no, there is no lines. I don't like the line.
That's what I was like. I don't
like I do understand the pun, right? I get it.
Right, I get it.
It's a nice pun, but it's distasteful because I don't like the line. But it's like that's literally rap though. Like,
right.
Where do you niggas draw the line of like I like hearing niggas shooting niggas and murdering niggas. Right. I'm gonna draw the line at Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
The ones like, I like,
yeah. I don't shoot the niggas I like.
Shoot them.
I think that's rap though, right? It's like it's why it's popular. It sells blood. It sells gore. It's what it sells. And I'm not like anti-rap. I love rap. I rap. But I think the shit that I like is not necessarily like mainstream. It's not like I don't like to promote like the shit I grew up on. I don't think I had a lot of choice in, right? So like still like a lot of Pac shit I listen to or Biggie shit or whatever. That shit was a lot of the shit is toxic because that was where the culture was, but I just loved it. It was a renegade shit.
It was what was on like it was we didn't have nearly as many options. So it was like 100%. Yeah, fuck these bitches. Yeah.
And it's become like, streamlined with our childhood, right? Mm-hmm. But as an adult, as a 34-year-old man with 4 kids, I don't see the point in saying some shit like that, like just to get niggas to go, woo, you know what I mean? Like,
right?
I don't.
Is it worth it? Yeah.
I'm sure niggas was like, fuck that, the line cold. Like, I'm sure there's niggas out there saying that shit.
You already know, yeah.
But I think he's about my age, right? 30, 34, 33, something like that.
Something around, yeah.
Yeah. So I think. I mean, it's my problem with rap in general, right? My problem with rap is it has literally become the monster it was made to destroy. Hip hop came out of anti-establishment. It came out of like bucking the system, right? It's literally
that was the whole point. Yeah,
it literally is the system now. It's all about getting money. It's all like like I remember I got into it with this nigga who's a MAGA rapper. On
Okay.
Twitter.
Eminem. You're talking to Eminem? No.
No, no. What is his name? Bryson something. I forget his name.
Fuck his name. Yeah.
Yeah, but so he was. I wasn't even talking about him. I didn't know niggas rapped about MAGA shit. But I found a video that him and one of his counterparts did. And
fellow Capital Rushers, yeah.
It was fucking hilarious. I was dying. I was like, this is crazy. And then I go to his page and it's like his whole catalog is full of like what he would say conservative values, but it's like pushing this Trump shit, right?
Yeah.
I was just like dying. I was laughing at the shit. And then this nigga, of course, somebody tagged him, and this nigga says, he goes to my Spotify listeners and he compares it. Like, I think I have like 20,000 listeners a month or something. He has like 500,000 listeners a month. And he was like, I don't know, he's talking shit about that. And I was like, well, my nigga, by that logic, like, do you concede that Gangnam Style is a better song than you've ever made?
That's the best rap song of all time. If we
I was like, if that's the logic you're going by, I was like, you obviously have whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, but I say that to say that's how people view rap, right? That's how people view it. Is like the bigger the sales, the bigger the numbers, the more money you have, yada yada yada.
I don't have to be better than you if I can sell.
Yeah, and to me that's ass backwards. It's like if you like, I care about like my shit. I will never be famous off of rap. I do it because I just love making music, dog. I literally got tattoos of music. This is what I love to do, and I know I'll never be famous for that shit. Because I do shit. I was telling my brother, jazz music, right? Jazz is so good that it's bad, right? And this is what I mean by that.
Okay.
What we're used to hearing, right? Are like same 4 chord setups since pop music was started, right? It's every Katy Perry song. Right. All it is the same 4 chords, like in a specific order.
It's formulaic, right? Yeah.
It's very formulaic. Jazz is off kilter, and it's so technically sound that an untrained ear will hear it and be like, "What the fuck is this? Sounds like an animal dying."
Like this, yeah.
This is trash. But if you care about chord structures, progression, seventh notes, majors, minors, diminished notes, if you care about shit like that and you study music, that's why jazz is beautiful. That's why jazz is like the template for understanding music. Like, if you understand this shit, we can build from there. Like when you're learning like music theory. And so that's why jazz was so innovative. Niggas don't care about shit like that. Because they don't care about like
how many clicks did Coltrane get, nigga? That's what how many followers did Miles Davis
running that shit up? But it's like so Meek Mill as a 30-some-year-old man, I don't think he really cares about his craft like that. Right. I don't think he cares about his craft. This is why I don't care how fucking stupid or how stupid Kanye sounds. I will always check for his music because he cares about the craft. Right. He gives a fuck about composition. He cares about the body of work. I'm an atheist. I checked out the Follow God, his little gospel album. Fire. I fucking love it, dog. Because he just cares about the craft. He makes good quality music. And I think like if you look at something like Meek, my nigga, like what does that do? Like what is that? Is that you like really perfecting your pen, my nigga?
Right. That's
pun. I don't know, my nigga. And maybe I'm overanalyzing it, but it's like that's just how I view it. It's like I just feel like a young nigga. I get it. You just out here trying to do shit for shock value.
Right.
But like you established, you a millionaire.
You've been on.
There's just no point to me. This is why I fuck with Jay-Z is because like he's still pushing his craft and he's growing and like his content is growing. Like this last 444 album was like it was about marriage and relationships and like it was about who he was as a man now. It's like that's why I love Jay-Z is because he grows. And it's like Meek, that's like it's a cheap line. It's like it's not expensive. You don't have to dig deep to think about that shit.
Right. Let me ask, okay, so it's if you were doing a song and you had me or somebody on that said that line, would it be a thing where you were like, hey man, like you got to take that off? Or is it
my song?
Yeah, it's your song.
Yeah, nah, you can't.
Oh, because I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious of that too. Because I feel like I've seen some people is like, hey, like you can't, censor it or whatever. because it's on Lil Baby's song. It's not his own song. That's the whole thing. Because I was like, if I'm Lil Baby, I feel like I have to be like, hey man, like, hey, that ain't.
But that's a different dynamic, right? Because Meek Mill's like looked at it like as an OG, and so Lil Baby is and so it's like you ask me personally, like I'm rich. I don't fuck about that shit.
Right.
I don't make this music for
money.
And so it's like a lot of the circles that the niggas running is like you have to do things to stay relevant. And so getting Meek Mill on a track is good for business, right? And so it's like, I wouldn't. But I understand, baby, the position he's in, right? Like Meek feels a certain way about you taking it off, and now it's a fucking thing. And now
I see both sides of it.
Yeah, I get why, but that's why I don't got shit to do with baby. Like I don't got shit to do with him. It's Meek.
Meek. He's a grown man. Yeah, he said this.
Has he apologized or has he?
I think I don't know.
He doubled down probably.
I feel like he doubled down, then caught some flag and was like, "Hey, I didn't mean it like that." I mean, I didn't mean it like that. But music. Are you still listening to Thug, man? I remember this was a point of dissension that we had a while ago.
We did. I don't be checking for him, but if I come across, I'll definitely tap in. I definitely appreciate you bringing it to my attention that I definitely look at him way different than I did before. And really, honestly, it helped me look at this newer generation of music differently. Whereas, like when I make music or the kind of music that I like to listen to, it's for a specific feel. It's for introspective. It's for the words having substance. It's like poetry, right? That's what I like to fuck with. That Thug shit is not that, and that shit is it's basically just a vibe. When you just sit and drinking, you chill, you just want to vibe. And so like I don't think I ever respected that element of that's what people want to feel when they listen to music, and me trying to judge how other people want to feel, because that's what art is. Art is just expression, and niggas want to fuck with that, and that's how they want to feel. So it definitely changed my vantage point.
That's all I was trying to say, man. Like I get, it's you don't want to hear. Well, I was gonna say you don't want to hear Thug 24 hours a day, but I just like you don't want to hear. It's different time, different musics for different times.
100%.
So has making like your own music, has it made you appreciate anybody more? Like somebody you already listened to, or maybe didn't listen to and heard and was like, actually, you know what? Like that, maybe I was, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I need to get at another run.
Yeah, no, I've been making music since I was 12. And so that's why it kind of put me on the pathway to the kind of music I like making, because I know what I like to make.
Right.
And I know how hard it is to make it. Right. So it's like, I like shit. Like, to me, I'll never have a music project without some kind of live instrumentation. Like, I understand that's not the wave right now, but like, I think it's just what I grew up on. It's what I love. And this is why I love Kanye, dog. It's interwoven in him.
He makes shit that shouldn't work. Like I can't take that away from him. Yeah.
He's just so fucking dope and creative, dog. And so it's like, when to answer your questions, like me making music allowed me to see behind the scenes of, because a lot of people I think just listen to music and they're like, that sounds cool. Right. But like I like dissect it. What instrument was this? What did he use? How did he use it? Just the little voicings that he does, like all of that shit. I'm in love with music. And so it's like Kanye was definitely one where I was like, yo, me making music has allowed me to appreciate his music like way more than I probably would have. Yeah. But also in a sense, and I'm probably gonna get flack for this, like Pac, right? Like Pac is my favorite rapper of all time. I think Jay-Z's the greatest, but I think Pac is my favorite.
Yeah.
But listening back, he was not into that. He wasn't into like he was just into like, I'm gonna
Hennessy and enemies,
he was into quantity. I'm gonna pump out as many songs as possible, and they're gonna stick. Now, I'm not saying he didn't care about what he did, but there wasn't as much detail oriented placed on the musicianship, the composition. Like he
Right.
was kind of just like sounds dope, right?
Right.
Which, like I said, he's still my favorite rapper of all time, just because nobody can dethrone him from me, because like when I was going through shit when I was a kid, nigga, that nigga helped me get through. That nigga helped me get hope. You know, like that. There's nothing. I listen to songs to this day, and I
I was gonna say the hits. I say like the hits don't age. Like they hold up with anybody's hits at any era.
Nah, bro. Like nigga, Dear Mama, Blasphemy, fuck, Ambitious as a Ride, like all that shit. It's just like it just is what it is. But it's like there's a different level of musicianship when you listen to somebody like Kanye's records. Like, and that's why I love that nigga, bro. He be saying some wild shit, but I will always check for a Kanye album, dog. I'm sorry.
You tweeted about this, and it's something I've been arguing about for a long time. Ice Cube's triple double.
Cap.
There's no way.
Cap.
There's no way.
What was y'all going to, my nigga? Like,
what was y'all playing the 42?
Like, bro, get the fuck out of here, dog. How you have a triple double? Most games, right? Depending on where you at, the majority of games go to 13, maybe 15 if there ain't nobody else waiting.
I was gonna say 21 at most. At most.
Nah, 21 is ridiculous. If y'all niggas is going to 21, that shit is ridiculous.
Now listen, I won't say it's not ridiculous, but I've seen it. But yeah, 11.
Bro, and you going by ones and twos?
Yeah. Oh, 2s and 3. Well, no, not ones.
Oh, that's what. Then you're going to 11.
Then. Yeah.
Just reduce your fractions. You're going to 11.
Will not.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you go to 15, that's like this is a long ass game.
It's double overtime.
Usually it's the last game of the run because ain't nobody else. You know they don't got 5 on the next. So there's like this is everybody the last one. But 11 to 13 is like the sweet spot, right? This nigga got a triple double. Come on, man.
How? How, Sway?
Ain't no way.
I'll be one to argue he got a triple single. I don't know if Ice Cube got double digits in any of them 3 things.
I've seen him maneuver in an athletic form. I don't see that. I'm just saying, man.
That was a kind way to say it.
Yeah, he definitely doubled down on it the other day too. I was like, come on, my nigga. You should let us know.
Yeah, what did he say? He said it was like 10 steals or blocks or something.
Yeah, I was like, cool, you ain't stealing the ball 10 times.
Q.
Come on, my nigga.
Q.
Cap.
Yeah. What's your favorite rap lies? Like just blatant lies.
Easily the 92 bricks. Easily.
That's one that immediately comes to mind.
The infamous 92 bricks. What's another one?
They just lost. He misplaced him, man. Like what can you do?
I think
mine is anything Rick Ross has ever said.
He definitely.
And I like Rick. Listen, I think he made great music. He be lying.
Top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, all these niggas, bro. Because you grew up around street niggas that are dealing drugs. Like you realize how crazy that shit is. It's like most niggas are just like nickel and dime hustling, and you get it like so. Like niggas is cutting bricks. Every nigga's not cutting bricks.
Everybody not a kingpin now. Everybody not top dog.
It's lucrative to an extent, but like there's one or two niggas in the city.
Neat, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I think rap in general is like really overdone it with the fucking drug talk, nigga. Like y'all niggas is flipping birds like it's burgers, nigga.
Ross said he know Noriega, man. He said he owe him 100 favors. I said 100. Okay, all right.
100 favors.
Does Noriega know this? Jada, my bathtub lift up, my walls do a 360. I was like, I don't know about that, Jada.
That would be fire.
It would be.
That would be fire.
It would be. However, in all actuality, I find it hard to believe.
Yeah. Oh, I think the funny one was Drake. When he said he was talking about what the fuck was I just couldn't do it. I had to leave that shit alone. He was talking about he was dealing drugs in that one song. And I was like, my nigga, you wouldn't know what near that shit, bro.
Yeah, listen, I was moving too much work.
No disrespect to Drake. I think he's the most talented nigga in the game by far. But come on, man.
Yeah.
I was at, I talked to God. Jay Prince.
Yeah.
I talked to Jay. He was on my podcast, and one of the questions I asked him was like, I was like, because Drake says something on that. I think it was the W. What was the sentiment? I forget the sentiment, but he was like, oh no, I think Jay Prince said he said he didn't want it to go there, right? And I was like,
shit.
yeah, and I was like, so I asked him, I was like, obviously, I was like, Push is like from that. That's where he's from, right? Like
Right.
that's what he.
That's his
he's from
lane.
it.
Like that.
Yeah,
That's,
that's what he's from. I was like, Drake is not from there. I was like, so why would it go there?
right.
And he said, oh, because we make it go there. And I was like, that makes sense. I said, okay, say no more.
Yeah. Next question.
That shit is that whole situation is so wild to me, though. This nigga really be moving like a mob boss, nigga. This nigga Jay Prince.
Yeah. Like he's.
I didn't know who he was when I got to the city.
Man. Like you don't say his name in Houston, or bad things happen. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I didn't know who he was when I got to the city. But then you find out quickly.
Yeah. I don't know who, like even most recently, like that's the thing I feel like on Twitter, once in a while you'll see people like, hey man, like niggas don't even know who Jay Prince is. It's like, okay, listen, you don't just say you don't know who Jay Prince is.
You don't know who it is. Yeah, you don't know.
Somebody, I can't even remember who it was. Like somebody got robbed, had their chain taken, and Jay Prince showed up in the video. Like, is this the one? Is this your umbrella? You just say the word. I can get that back to you, young bull.
I heard a lot of stories like that, dog. Or just like the way this nigga commands respect, bro. It's like this niggas move for this nigga. I was like, I will never get in this nigga's way. I promise.
Nah,
I'm
that's
not a gangster.
Not opposition you want.
Nah, I'm cool with that.
A couple more questions. I got to give you the close personal friend initiation test before we get you out of here.
All right.
Couple quick questions. What is your greatest personal sports moment? Can be pro, literally whatever.
On the field?
Yeah, on the court, on the whatever. Your personal greatest sports moment.
Well, I think my coming out party in the NFL was probably the best moment. I really cried that day because it was like all the shit I had gone through up to the point from
it's like a certain game or just in general.
Oh yeah, so sorry. So 2010, the opening day against the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
So the year before, this is when I was on the practice squad and they pulled me up. Steve Slater had gotten hurt. I balled like the last two games, and they was like, "We're gonna give you a shot to start next year." And I was like, "Nigga, bet, right?" So I worked my ass off. Yeah, I worked my ass off, and then I found out they took Ben Tate in the second round. And it's like, God damn, I can't catch a break, my nigga.
Right.
He ended up getting hurt in preseason, and so I started like with no competition. It was just like it's yours.
It's you
run with it. But just like everything leading up to that was like, you know what I'm saying, my family shit, growing up, like all the hardships I've been through, dog. And I'm going against Peyton Manning, who I went to the University of Tennessee, and he's like a god over there, and like 230 yards, nigga, and we bust their ass, and it's just like, it was just like, God damn, like I did that. Fuck that.
I'm here.
I did that. Yeah, I did that, man. It was like emotional for me. Like I cried like that night. It was just like, shit, bro.
Okay, what is your biggest sports heartbreak? Again, any level.
Like I don't know if it's a heartbreak, but it's like it's not like a moment, but it's just like I think I was a better basketball player, dog. It was something that I wanted to be a basketball player. I'll put it like that. I just couldn't give my passion and my love to it that I wanted to because I knew I was so good at football. Like I was really good at football. And so I was like, okay, this is my way out. Right. So if it was like, if I knew how the lights was going to be on in 20 years, I probably would have played basketball because I loved it so much. I'm talking about, I used to stay and just hit jumpers till 1 a.m. Nigga, I just loved the shit. I wanted to play basketball so bad, but I just knew football was my way out. I wasn't busting niggas ass in basketball like that because I couldn't put the time in. Like I just
Right.
couldn't put the time in. Like basketball is a skilled sport, so it's like I have to work on my handles. I
Yeah,
have to
right
work
hand,
on my
left
shot.
hand.
You're
Yeah.
not just born with left-handed dribbles, my nigga. Like you have to
Right.
you have to bang that shit out. You have to bang shots out, right? And I know I can get there. Like cause like now, like I'll spend like a week straight in the gym, right? Just because like that's well, not now, but like before COVID. Like I'll just run because it's really how I just stay in shape now. I don't like to be in the gym like that. So I go hoop for like 5 days straight. And towards the end, I feel like I could pull up from anywhere. My shot be wet, nigga. Like, and I know everybody feels like that, but like I know the difference between like progress in athletics. Like if I put in this one to work, this is like a show, and it starts to show, and I'm like if I would have given this my all, like I really think I could have. Yeah, I really think I could have done it. I think that's my biggest. Like I loved basketball, nigga. Like that was my shit.
When did you have that realization? Like, this is what I want to do, but football is probably what I should do or need to do.
Middle school.
Oh, so relatively early.
Yeah, I knew it because like nigga, when I say in little league, I was bussing. Like it was like literally like 5 touchdowns a game, dog. Like it was like they just couldn't touch me. So I was like, I knew this was my way out. Right. Then when I got to high school, basketball season was after football season, and football season would cut a little bit over into basketball season. So like I would be in this. It would take me a little while to get my basketball legs, we used to call them, right? Because like football, everything is forward. Basketball, it's more vertical, and so it took me a while to get that bounce back. Like I remember, like I like some small offers and shit, but I just never put in the work that I knew I could. Like I remember, like this coach like came to me after games like you can go to college for this shit, and I'm like, I play football, bro.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, I'm not finna. Yeah.
All right, you could get high or drunk with any 4 people, dead or alive. Who are they?
I won't get faded with. No, that'd be rapey. I don't want to do that.
Yikes. Okay.
Yeah. No, because like if you get, I was gonna say Rihanna, but I'm like, but if she's under the influence, mine under the influence, it's a kind of weird. Like I want that to be mutual because.
True. I want to be very sober for that experience.
Yeah, I want her to love me for me.
Same.
Jim Carrey for sure.
Okay.
Jay-Z for sure. Cornel West, my nigga. I think he's the most brilliant nigga walking. And I've already rapped with him, but I would love to drink with him. Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to get faded with that nigga.
I feel like it could go one or like two. Like he'd either be like really dope or he'd just be like literally well actualing like everything you say with like this.
But I like that shit. I would be picking a nigga brain. It's a safe fan. See that? What's that star, nigga?
Yeah, what's
that? I'll pick that nigga brain.
What's the square root of this apartment, nigga? What's the Okay. What do you think the first person that ever got booed about? Now, what do you think they were doing where somebody was like, man, this is horrible?
That had to be probably some like art shit, like niggas like making plays and shit. Like back in the days,
Romeo,
yeah. Niggas was like, man, what is this?
Ooh,
nigga, you trying to be like Shakespeare, nigga?
This nigga is not Shakespeare, dog. Horrible. Boo him. Let's boo him, guy. Yeah,
bro. Can I take a bathroom break real quick? Right?
Yeah.
My bad, G.
No, you good.
I couldn't hold it. A whole one of these, man.
I was gonna say you crushed it. So
50 fluid ounces, nigga. And I was like, yo,
I'll say we ain't going too much long. What would you tell yourself right now? What would Arian right now tell 18-year-old Arian?
Nigga.
Just about anything.
I tell that nigga, stop pretending to be tough. I tell that nigga, deal with your emotions, and it's okay to be emotional. And I tell that nigga, don't get married.
That's real. What age do you think you figured, like the emotional part? What age do you think you figured that out? Because I feel like that's something that I don't want to say it's only young black men, but that's the only perspective I have on it. So,
Right, right.
yeah, like I don't
um, it's probably like the last 2-3 years, honestly. That
really.
was new. That was new to me, man. Shit, nigga, literally this last year was literally one of the most powerful growth years I've ever had.
Hmm.
Merely, I mean, I went through a lot, but it was just like going to therapy with my dad, shit like that,
Hmm.
having talks with like with my family members about like real shit, right?
Right.
Like that. I think that's the biggest thing is like a lot of times we, especially as black people, we don't really say how we feel. How does that make you feel?
Right.
And we keep that in, and that a lot of things can build from that. Resentment can build from that. Distrust can build from that. If you and all you got to do is just clear the air.
Right.
And it just took me years. Shit, I always tell people, dog, like I felt like after I retired, it was like I woke up from a whirlwind.
Hmm.
I felt like I was on autopilot my entire career. And when I came to, I realized I had all of this emotional baggage because of being a breadwinner of your family, being in the public eye, having public shame, being embarrassed. Like all of this shit is just
Hmm.
like sitting on me, and I didn't really know or understand how to deal with it. I was just like fuck them, fuck
Right.
them, like fuck people, right?
Right.
And I still say fuck people, but it's
Sure.
different now.
Sure.
Yeah, I think learning how to deal with that was really the biggest gift I've given myself is just really being able to sit with my emotions and like I remember we used to make fun of publicly, like make fun of Drake because he made emotional music, and I
Right.
partook. I mean, not publicly, but like I was like, yeah, that nigga saw.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like this nigga writing songs about love, nigga. What are you
Right.
talking about?
That's
Like
like
love,
he ain't saying nothing. You ain't listen, you done had your heart
yeah.
broken too. I don't like
Oh,
that's life.
love,
Yeah.
love is amazing, my nigga. It's literally the most sung about genre because it's like this is an emotion that we're all experiencing. I was like, I'm over here making fun of a nigga because he's in touch with his emotions. I'm like, bro, I'm fucking lost, my nigga. Like,
I
I'm
gotta get a
lost.
grip, man.
Yeah, dog. I want niggas to shoot niggas in songs and not talk about love. I'm fucking lost, dog. I'm lost.
And last question. What is your hottest take? It could be on anything. What is like just your hot, just like one of your, oh boy, like I'll down this hill. I'll go to my grave with this. What is your hottest take?
I will never say that one publicly. That just ran through my head.
Okay, it's
I'll,
probably for
te-
the best.
I'll text it to you because
Okay,
it's
okay,
true. It's true,
okay.
but I ain't finna do that.
Self awareness. That's part of growth.
It's 100%. Um, hottest take. Um, I got too many hot takes.
I don't know about that.
I
So my
got
running
too.
back should be paid.
That's a hot take, dog.
Yeah, that's scorching.
Uh, I can't think of one off the top, man. I think maybe. Oh, okay. This is a hot take.
Okay,
I could beat Jeremy Lin 1-on-1
okay. Why? Why Jeremy Lin?
because,
Like what? Like you just watch it like not him, not him.
bro.
No him.
All
Harvard
right,
boy. Yeah, come
all
here.
right,
Yeah.
all right. So for whatever reason, dog. Listen, I know niggas in the NBA are good, like
Right.
really good, right? But I'm also an ex-athlete, so I'm good, relatively.
Mm.
I remember just watching him play, and this was the only athlete I've ever felt this about. And I felt like he just the way he played bothered me. For somewhere, I'm pretty sure niggas feel like that about me, right? I don't like the way this nigga plays,
Right.
and it's just I don't got no problem with this dude, right? It's
Right.
all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like I just feel like I could get the nigga 1-on-1. You give me 6 months to get in basketball shape and get my handles back where they need to be and get my shot where I think I'm on his ass.
Y'all playing with 1-on-1 to 11?
You pick it.
You think you could take what? Was this when he was in Houston? This is when you noticed it?
No, it was maybe that's what it is. Okay. So when the whole insanity shit started,
Uh,
it was against the Lakers and Kobe. And so maybe I got a little bit of I need to
you
address
got
that
some
in my
more
next
emotions to
therapy.
deal with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my next therapy session, I'm gonna address that. Like, yo, why does this nigga bother me so much?
you just laying on the couch. I don't get it, man. He not that. Yeah, I mean, cool. He's all right. That nigga's all right. My shit more John Blaze than
yeah, that's my hot take.
Yeah, that's a good one to go out on. My man, Arian Foster. I appreciate you, G, as always.
Always, my dog. Always. And I also want to we got to link up. I know I said it, but I just put that project in the back burner. But I want to do like an animated series. It's such dope idea, but I want to have you write a lot of it because you're fucking hilarious. Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah, we still got to do that shit.
I'm game.
All right, my G.